Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome back to Hollywood After Dark. Tonight is March 26, 2023, and I'm officially 41 years old. But you know what? That's not the biggest story of the weekend. Obviously, it's what's going on with Jonathan Majors. Is he a good guy? Is he a bad guy? Either way, it's a major disaster for Marvel and the Creed franchise. Also, SHAZAM 2 continues to do poorly. Zachary Levi under a lot of fire, folks. It's kind of crazy. We're going to be talking about all that here tonight. Let's fucking go. Oh, yeah. Hey, what's going on, everybody? How you guys doing? Welcome to the party. Welcome to the show. It is March 26th. Like I said, I'm now 41 years old. I'm also kind of sick, so if you hear it in my voice or if I have to mute because I have to cough or whatever, that's what's going to be happening. Saggy should be joining me here pretty soon to help co-host for the night because there is a lot to talk about, folks, a lot to talk about. But you know what I want to talk about the most? I want to talk about John Wick. Because I finally saw John Wick Chapter 3 last night. Yeah, I know. I'm like 4 years too fucking late. But goddamn, what a movie. I mean, like, it gets into some pretty unbelievable territory. Like, we're talking, it gets into some stuff that's, you know, puts it up there with the Fast and Furious franchise for unbelievability. But you don't care. You don't care because it's just that effing good. It's just that effing good. And I need to go see John Wick 4. If I wasn't sick, and I wasn't in bed half the day, I would have absolutely snuck out tonight to check out the late night screening. Maybe I will tomorrow if I'm feeling any better. Hopefully I will. But goddamn, number 3 was so much fun. So much fun. But real quick here, there's one thing that I haven't done yet that I wanted to do on air. And that is Ryan Hartwell here sent me very, very, very thoughtfully sent me 4 wrapped what appear to be books or something for my birthday. I haven't opened them yet because I was waiting for my birthday. So I'm going to open them right now. I'm going to open these here from Ryan. Ryan is very thoughtful in his gifts. Very nice. I want to make sure we open this up. Right, this is the one that's burgundy colored. I believe burgundy. Ron Burgundy. All right. Oh, all right. This one is called, it's a book called The Black Guy Dies First. All right. Black horror cinema from fodder to Oscar. Ooh, wow. This is an interesting one. There's one of the things when it comes to black horror, I honestly don't know much about it. It's not for any specific reason. It's just that, they probably don't get as many. Well, I mean, they honestly, there's a lot of stuff that probably doesn't get talked about. Nowadays you got Jordan Peele, who's kind of at the forefront of horror, and everything else. And his stuff is very racially motivated to some extent, not in a negative way, but just in like an information way or satiristic or however you want to play it. But this is pretty cool. So this is the definitive and surprising exploration of the history of black horror films after the rising success of Get Out, Candyman, and Lovecraft Country from the creators behind the acclaimed documentary Horror Noir. Interesting that it's got 2 movies, 2 things that I've got Jonathan Majors listed right there in the back. Candyman reboot. No, I'm thinking Yaha Abdul Mateen II. That's my bad. No, but Lovecraft Country, definitely Jonathan Majors. And that, of course, is another topic of conversation that's going to be kind of crazy. Talking about that. But thank you very much, Ryan, for that. I'm looking forward to diving into that one. I need to make it more of a mission to read 20 minutes before bed. I just got to get in the habit of that because Ryan sends me a lot of really cool books. So there's a lot there to read. All right. So this is birthday cake one. Looks more like another book. Or birthday, what's it called? Birthday candles. All right. Ryan, your wrapping is very good. Oh, what? Wait a minute. Oh, shit, dude. Oh, man. The Mindhunter book. With a new introduction by the authors, John Douglas and Mark Olshaker. Of course, this is the what the show Mindhunter was based off of on Netflix, a show that everybody wants a 3rd season of. Oh, this is my jam, baby. This is my jam. Serial killers, Netflix, and cable. All right. This is a thick ass book. Yeah. This is nice. It's brand new too. Oh, this is very sexy. Thank you, Ryan. Oh man, I can't wait to read this one. I gotta watch Mindhunter again, and then curse Netflix to the heavens because we haven't gotten a third season. Maybe Apple TV will cruise on in and pick it up. Maybe that will show them. That will show them all. All right, here's the other birthday cake one or birthday candle one. I don't. Ryan, you and tape. Oh my God, where's the? I gotta find an edge. He tapes this like remarkably well. There we go. Gotta just like find a corner and like just tear at it here. I'm like a 2-year-old on Christmas with this. My 5-year-old would probably already have it open. She'd be giving me so much shit. But thank you, Ryan. All right, let's get this. Is the other one here. Ooh, what's this? Slash? Oh, what is this? Slash of the Titans. What? Wait, what? Slash of the Titans, The Road to Freddy versus Jason? Oh my God. Oh my, they did a whole book on this one? Holy shit. Oh my God. Oh man, hell yeah. Like, I love Freddy versus Jason. This is like, okay, from the author of Phantasm Exhumed comes Slash of the Titans, a revealing look at why it took New Line Cinema nearly 10 years and $4 million to find the right screenplay for Freddy vs. Jason, featuring new interviews from the original writers and filmmakers. Slash details the production's troubled history, from the surprise ending of Jason Goes to Hell, all the way to the crossovers, red carpet premiere, and beyond. Read about the many rejected storylines and learn how the project was finally able to escape from development hell. This is a story of one movie, 2 horror icons, and 17 screenwriters. What? Yo, dude, that's so fucking sick, dude. Oh my God, that's awesome. Thank you so much. That is great. I didn't call Ryan an edgelord. No, Ryan's not an edgelord. Ryan's the man, dude. That's fucking so thoughtful. Thank you. All right, and this last one, this is a hefty motherfucker. This last one here. All right, he wrote a note on it too. Let me just make sure I can see this. All right, to Matt, I know you'll get plenty of material out of this from Ryan. Thank you, Ryan. All right. Once again, you and the tape. You were very good. See, I'm like the worst rapper in the world, right? Like I don't even like to rap. I literally just like put a card on it and be like, that's for me. Oh my God. Oh, what is this? Crystal. Whoa. What? The complete history of Friday the 13th. The Crystal Lake Memories or Memories. Wow. This is a thick fucking book, dude. This thing's heavy. This thing weighs at least 5 pounds. I mean, holy shit. Over 300 pages, 600 photos, 200 interviews, storyboards, concept art, forward by Sean S. Cunningham, and more. For the past 25 years, cinematic icon Jason Voorhees has terrified audiences around the world with his long-running exploits spanning 11 films and generating over $500 million in box office receipts. Now, for the first time, and in all their own words, over 200 alumni of the series recall a quarter-century's worth of never-before told tales filled with all the backstage stories, struggles, and controversies behind the on-screen mayhem. This candid and exhaustive history takes you inside the record-breaking franchise like no other book has. Holy crap, dude. This is sick. Yeah, all right. Oh, God. Give me so many things to read. I really appreciate that. Thank you. My kid's going to come in my room and look at my bedside table and be like, what's all these books, Daddy? Why is there like monsters and stuff on there? I'm like, well, child, the older you get, the more you will come to discover the awesomeness that is horror movies. Thank you so much, Ryan. That is so thoughtful, dude. Thank you so much. I really, really appreciate that. All right. Saggy Melons is joining me. Saggy, how's it going?
Happy birthday to
No.
Happy birthday.
No, we're not doing that. No.
You. Happy birthday, Matt Jarbo. Don't end. Happy birthday to you. Just deal with it. It's a fucking birthday. It's tradition. Like, come on.
Yeah, I know. Even like
sing how old are you now, okay? Like we stop at the birthday.
Yeah, we stop. Yeah, it's not even like how old are you? I'm over 40 because I'm getting older and shit.
God, it doesn't even feel like at all happy anymore when my birthday comes around. It just feels depressing. So I'm like, oh god, now I'm just getting fucking old.
Yeah, my girlfriend asked me, she's like, because we're all sick, right, from the kids. And so, from the little kids at the school, very nice children, but they're all germ machines. And she's like, well, what do you want to do today? And I'm all like, nothing. Like literally nothing. I woke up with so last night, I'm like, both kids are coughing, borderline throwing up again. She's passed out because she's not feeling well. And I'm like, okay, I'm home. I'm not going to stream. I'm on dad duty, but the kids are still asleep. So I'm going to watch John Wick Chapter 3. So I get, some snacks and I sit down and start watching it. And I immediately start feeling like my sinuses crunch and I start feeling my throat start to scratch. And I'm like, no, what? No, not today. Can it wait? Can it wait until like Monday? But it works out because my mom was supposed to come up this weekend. She did not come up this weekend because being sick. My dad stopped off to drop off some clothes for the girls and my birthday gift. And like, he just kind of like stayed outside because they're trying to go to the Grand Canyon. So to give you guys an idea of how crazy this trip is, my dad and my stepmom tried to go to the Grand Canyon when they were in Vegas a number of years ago, and they get there and it's rained out. The whole thing is rained out. So they're like, we're going to try to go again. They booked the entire trip for April 2020. What happens in March 2020? Shutdown. Pandemic, right? So they can't go. It took 3 years to finally be able to get to the place to be able to go back, and they leave in a week. So my dad's like, I'm not risking getting sick. Like, I love you. Happy birthday. But stay the fuck away from me. I'm like, I completely get it. I completely understand that shit. So there you go. Tony here says my birthday was in February. I'm 31. Yeah, 31's not so bad. 31's not so bad. I remember 31. It was a good year. I still had all my brown hair. 10 years later, it's a little less brown, a lot more kind of salt and pepper. Not in the best way I would like, but it's that. Anyway, thank you for that. Ryan, really appreciate that. Great stuff there. Garrick here with a $5 on the super chat. Thank you. Says, is it safe to say with Shazam's 2 Abysmal's box office that we aren't getting Shazam 3 and Zachary Levi is done with the role? I don't think Zachary Levi's done with the role, but I don't think we're going to get a Shazam. Also, RJ, thank you very much, RJ. Where are those clips, RJ? RJ, we need those clips, RJ. You know what I'm talking about, RJ. Get those clips.
Get those clips. Get
those clips.
The clips. Fuck
clips.
Resident Evil 5. Fuck Resident Evil 5. First of all, I was playing Resident Evil 4.
Is he playing RE4? Is that what's going on?
No, he's playing Resident Evil 5 with Hans.
Oh, okay. See, I beat the Outer Worlds the other day, and then I beat my friend Pedro today, which is a nice little like side-scrolling shooter that on the Xbox. Well, it's on I think PC and PS, whatever. But then like I'm looking for something else to play, and Rational actually bought me Dying Light 2 a number of months ago, like when I was in The Witcher 3, and I just kind of like, I'm like, I don't know if I want to play a zombie game with the kids around.
Yeah, I never played. I haven't. Yeah, you can't play that with the kids around. It's definitely not kid friendly. But I didn't play Dying Light 2. I don't know why. I like Dying Light 1.
I love Dying Light. Love Dying Light. And so I did pop on. The kids were out of the room today, so I did pop it on. And my 5-year-old comes in at one point. She's just like, "What you playing?" I'm like, "Kid, get out of here. This is scary." She's like, "What are those?" I'm like, "Those are zombies." And then like she watches me like decapitate one. She's like, "That's not scary." And I'm like, "Get out."
I mean, I don't know. I think when it comes to kids, I think kids aren't as scared. Like they're not as scared and should be as like sheltered from like things like zombies. They know zombies aren't real, dude. And if your kid sees a zombie and they're not scared, I don't see any harm with them. Like what? Because like my first game, the reason why I got to Resident Evil was because my uncle bought the first Resident Evil game on PlayStation, like the first one, the OG, and he rented it. That's how long ago it was when you could rent video games, right?
Yeah.
So he rented it from a video store. And I remember the first time I was introduced to Resident Evil was with him. And like at the time, my mom was like, "Is this a scary game?" He's like, "Yeah, it's kind of scary." And she's like, "I don't know if I want, her watching you play the game." And he's like, "It's not that bad." And it wasn't. Like, I mean, of course, the graphics were so shit. I mean, even for those times, it's like, yeah, I was introduced to Resident Evil when I was younger. And been a fan since. So I think when it comes to video games, I think the kids aren't as like dumb where they're like they know it's a game and they think it's fun. I think she just wants to spend time with you while you play games, and she can just sit there and watch. And if she saw it happen, she's like, I'm not scared. I don't think that you should be like, yeah, you can't watch me play this game. She's clearly not scared of it. Because why don't you want her to watch you play?
Why don't I want my 5-year-old to watch me play Dying Light 2?
Yeah,
because I mean, there's a lot of questionable language.
That's fair.
2, there's not that I swear all the time. I don't have a problem with swearing. Like I probably will be that dad that's like, look, I don't give a shit if you swear around the house. I don't care. Right? Like, it's just because you're gonna do it anyway, right?
Right.
Like when I was a kid, dude, the shit we said on the bus in 3rd grade, I would make sailors blush. We didn't know what we were saying, but we were saying it. You know what I mean?
Right.
And so there's that. Like, I'm not going to care. Like, because it's been pretty funny. I think I accidentally called somebody a fucker the other day, and my daughter then later on just goes, you fucker. And I'm like, oh, no, listen, you got to know when the right time to say that word. Yeah, you can't be saying that right now, you know? And so it's like, but again, like her being like with like us, we express ourselves and, you know, we say like, you know, a word's a word, like whatever, fuck it. But I'm like, look, when you're out in public, it's a different story. Like when you're out in public, you got to be, you know, like it's like, you know, decorum is, you know, a certain thing. So, you know, things along those lines and whatnot. You just kind of want to be like polite. Yes, ma'am. No, ma'am. Thank you. No, thank you. Things like that. You know, but like, again, like when you're home, like who gives a shit? Right. Because people, there's always difference there's always going to be the difference of approach, like how you are around your friends and your family versus how you are with somebody at the bank. Because like there is like one joke that I have that I can't tell. Only because, for one, like I would be a very specific audience. It's not racial, by the way. Okay, it's not racial. It's a personal joke. But like, I made the joke to my therapist, and then literally like 3 weeks later, she like just stopped responding to my messages. My therapist dumped me. Like I'm not even kidding you. I was ghosted by my therapist.
Damn,
this was a couple years ago. I think because she didn't know how to handle, like, this is during the fallout in 2018. And so I went in there and I'm like, so let me tell you how weird my life is, right? Let me tell you what's going on right now. And she's just like, oh, I don't know anything about that, you know? And I'm like, yeah, I get it. I understand. I get it. It's like, it's, you know, so she had to go and like learn about YouTube culture. And I think it might've just been a little bit too much for her. Because so she just kind of like at one point she just kind of like ghosted me, and I'm just like, okay, like it's fine. But because I made the joke, it's like I'll tell you know what, Zaggy, I'll just tell you later on. I'll tell you later. It's stupid, yeah. But it is what it is.
What you want to get something funny? So because I thought this was just gonna be like a chill birthday stream, but I see at the top you have topics. So because you say more Shazam stuff, and I heard you mention Zachary Levi, but I just wanted to like say. I know you've heard about my stalker. You've heard, well, there's many, but
I don't know. Yeah, you said you've heard about my stalker. I don't know who the fuck you're talking about. Yeah.
So one of my stalkers online, I had just checked because every once in a while I see people like respond to him, and I tell people to stop giving this weirdo attention because he goes to like everybody's threads to talk about me. It's freaking weird. But he actually did it on Zachary Levi's thread. Which had nothing to do with Shazam or anything. It was about some kind of Kickstarter thing from what I see. And my stalker posted a link to my stream talking about the Zachary Levi situation with The Rock. He posted a link to my stream and said, by the way, Saggy Melons is one of those pick-me girls. If you say anything that offends her, she will label you as a villain, and literally post a link to the stream that says, Zachary Levi saved me. And I'm like, it's getting a lot of attention. I'm sitting there like, thank you for the free promotion. You just got like a bunch of people to come to my channel to see my video agreeing with Zachary Levi on his Twitter thread. So
there's a lot. It's the whole thing with Zachary. Real quick here, by the way, I just want to say this. Little Movie Perp, $10 super chat. Dude, thank you so much, Perp. Appreciate that. Says, happy birthday, my dude. Thank you for providing great content for my morning routine. Stayed up late, just pay my respects. Have a good one. Hashtag release Batgirl when you get a chance. I say we change that to release Batgirl, you cowards. I think we gotta force it a little bit, but in a nice gentle way. You know what I mean? Like we want to kind of like, we don't want to go full BDSM. We want to go like 50 Shades on this one, right? Where it's a little aggressive, but it's still considerably more loving. Have you ever seen the 50 Shades franchise, Saggy?
Unfortunately.
Yeah. My girlfriend's rewatching the first movie right now.
We talked about this before.
Yeah, she's on a kick. She's on a kick.
That book was so badly written, though.
She was telling me more about like the characterizations of like Christian Grey, right? And like stuff he went through as a kid and like how it impacted him as an adult. And there's actual like nuance to the character. And I'm like, oh, that's kind of interesting. That's kind of interesting.
Yeah, it's interesting that he was pretty much had a very like he was basically like his story. That whole thing is like it's fucked. Like it's a fucked story. Like he was pretty much molested as a child.
Well, he had like his mother was a sex worker who like and his stepdad or whatever, her boyfriend put out cigarettes on his chest. The mother OD'd and died. Christian was in the room for 3 days with his dead mother on the floor.
Didn't he have like a relationship with like one of the, like he was rich?
Yeah.
He had a relationship with his
Yeah. So he got adopted into this family, this rich family. And he ended up meeting like one of his mom's friends. And she was the one that's all like, hey there, you're a teenager and I like you. Let me show you the ropes, sort of thing, right? So he's a teenager. She's a full-on adult. We're talking like a real Miss Robinson
right, that's what I'm saying.
Situation, yeah. And so then he ends up like going into that. And he ends, so he's got a lot of issues and whatnot. The problem, my problem with the 50 Shades franchise is that it's like, for one, they glorified BDSM for like Midwestern housewives, and it's like, look, none of you are ready for like this. You might fantasize about it because it's fantasy. It's a fantasy is all it is, right? It's just such a weird thing to say because I don't think most women want there to be that kind of fantasy. I don't know, man. You tell me. You're a woman. Do you ever fantasize about those kind of scenarios? I mean, no. I'm not. I don't need detail, but I mean, like, have there ever?
So it's like women. There are women and men. That's not mutually exclusive, but there are like people who, like I said, it's all about BDSM or like master servant. Like it's about like being submissive or dominant. So like, yeah, there are some people who do fantasize about like, being rough in the bedroom. I mean, as long as it's again consensual, which is what they do try to like touch on in the story. Like, she has to sign a friggin' NDA or contract, right, to like have this relationship so that he doesn't get in trouble. But at the same time, it's like, I think, that book, the story had a lot of controversy too from the people who are part of like the
Oh
BDSM. Like,
yeah. There's
they were pissed.
They're pissed because, well, for one, it like minimizes what they do. But it also leaves out like so much of what happens after the fact, like the aftercare that happens, Right. So it's not just like write them hard and put them away wet, which is what the book generally tends to like showcase. It's like in reality, it's a lot different. It's a lot way different than all that stuff. Right. And they were really upset but like there's so many, but it's such an interesting franchise, largely because it was a ripoff of Twilight. It was like literally.
Well, the thing that made the 50 Shades of Grey books go crazy is like it was a book that a lot of older women especially like were obsessed with because it was sexy, right? Even Big Mouth made fun of it, that, right? So the book that I think it's called like the Rock of Gibraltar or something like that with the guy who turns into a horse. They had the whole episode about the book where all the kids were reading it and it was like they didn't understand why it was so good. It's like, oh, it makes me feel things. That was basically an entire spoof of the 50 Shades of Grey stuff, where you got that erotic book that everyone's talking about.
Okay, I do remember that, but I mean, I never really looked at it from the 50 Shades perspective. I just looked at it like she was reading like, the romance novels and whatnot. But I can see your point. You know,
Well, it was different. It was definitely like referencing the 50 Shades of Grey, especially when it got to the adults talking about it. Especially the women, they were talking about it, and then Nick's mom goes, "Barbara, it's a sexy book. Read the sexy book, Barbara."
that's probably more in line with what they were going for there. You know, I'm just trying to find a picture. There was one guy on Reddit a long time ago was like, "This is my mom's copy of 50 Shades of Grey," and it was just all the. Oh, here it is. Actually, it's right here. Let me just open up the window. Yeah. So, goddamn StreamYard. Oops.
Did you play around with the new layouts? You could customize layouts now, which is awesome.
I haven't spent time. I know it's right there. I have not been able to do that yet. I should say I haven't made the attempt to do that yet, but I need to. Maybe I'll do that a little bit later.
It definitely helps.
So sure. This post blew up back in the day, like around like 2012, I think. And it was this guy who goes like, "This is my mom's copy of 50 Shades of Grey."
Look at all those fucking tabs, bro.
Look at all those tabs. The fact that they're multicolored makes me really question what's going on.
His mom probably was working on an article.
Maybe.
I mean, why would you do that? Unless you were working on an article.
There's got to be a follow-up there that we don't know about, but I remember seeing this from many, many, many years ago that I found this there. It was just
listen, when you said there's a picture of some guy's mom's copy of it, I was not expecting that. I was expecting it to be soaked. The pages sticking together. This is my mom's copy of 50 Shades of Grey, guys. It's like, first thing I would ask is, why aren't you wearing gloves when you're holding that book?
Wow.
Listen, that book, I don't know why. I tried to read that book, right? Because obviously when things are popular and stuff, you kind of like want to know what the hype's about. So I tried to read the book, but it was like,
well, you did watch Cuties, so, and there was hype behind that, just a different kind of hype. So you
listen, because listen, curiosity killed the cat, and that was not the regrets are made that day with that one, that's for sure. But though it was awful, man. I think I told you, like, man, I still,
yeah,
I'm like trying to forget that thanks for reminding me, you dick. I know it's your birthday, but like, fuck you for reminding me that I watched that a fucking disgusting fucking movie.
Good. I never want you to forget it. No, I'm kidding. Anyway, we got a tenor here from Samir. Thank you. Says happy birthday, bitch.
Where are you people on my birthday? Okay, where's my birthday bubble tea money?
When is your birthday?
November.
Are you turning 38 this November, or are you 38?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I'm gonna be turning, yeah.
All right, so she's almost at 40, guys. 2 more years.
And I still look young. Damn it.
Well, yeah, all right. I'll give you that. Yeah, what you do? Yeah, sure. Yeah, okay.
You don't sound very sincere. Wow. This is my friend. I just want y'all. This is my friend. This is how my friends treat me, from behind the scenes and on camera or on stream, publicly. The abuse.
Ralph's Double Tits here says, "Show us the Power Girl suit first, and then we'll donate." I mean, at least he's up front on that one.
Oh, real quick. I know. I'm sorry, but this is important. I think Matt and you guys would be interested in it. Have you heard about Kickstream?
No.
So people are starting to get really pissed off and fed up with Twitch. So some top Twitch streamers, I think, started their own Twitch type of service called Kickstream. And first of all, the big thing there is when you get monetized over there on Kickstream, 90%, you get 90% of your earnings.
Wow.
Yes. So that's one big thing. Another thing is their terms of services is wicked lax, where they allow almost everything with the exception of straight up pornography. And the stuff that people are doing over there is wild. Like, there are pictures floating around of one streamer, boobies pretty much almost out. Like, there's no nipple, but there's boobs, and deep throat and a corn on the cob. Like, it's what, like, there are women who like you thought the hot tub meta was bad on Twitch. Like, Kick was like, hold my beer. the stuff that goes on over on Kickstream. I heard this from Tipster.
Oh, on Kick. I've been hearing about Kick.
Yes.
Okay,
yes.
Kick. Okay, yeah. All right, like here, I'll bring this up. This is just the front page right here.
Careful.
I'm not, whatever. We got Let Me Serenade You from woman named Heavenly, and she's just doing, featured right there. She's got 971 people. Big Iraq is RPing in GTA Online. And then this guy over here, Stims, is clearly gambling.
They allow, and if you type in hot tub, they have categories too. You can type in hot tub streamers.
All right, hold on, let me see.
They don't show nudity. They're not, so they don't show nudity. Porn gets immediately taken down. But yeah, they allow, like, the stuff that they don't allow on Twitch, they definitely allow on there. I'm gonna actually probably, because everyone wants me to go back and do OnlyFans. I'm like, I'm not gonna do OnlyFans, but I might do some lewd type content on Kick streaming because they allow it. Like, I can do what Review Tech USA does, where I get $50 super chats or whatever, and I could just take my shirt off and be sitting there in a bra or a bikini top, and it's completely fine on this service. So, like,
yeah. I mean, I could see people, like, I understand. Jesus, Latina with the biggest ass on,
yes.
And she live with 1,400 viewers.
Yep.
Stake Jeopardy with viewers. So this guy's playing Jeopardy with 5,300 people.
Yep. This is a new thing. This might actually, if it starts getting more traction, it might actually be bad for Twitch, because again, their revenue that they take is
small.
You get 90% of your earnings here.
Look, small panty stream.
Yes. Yeah,
I'm gonna open this in a different tab.
Yeah, but that's the thing, Jarbo. You get 90% of your earnings. Like, they don't take a lot.
What is she? She's like, okay, like, so she's like, I'm looking at this one. 25 gifted nipple pasties, no shirt. 10 gifted small lingerie, smaller thong or bikini. Yeah, I'm not going to bring it up on stream, but it's definitely like, my God.
I'm just saying, this might be competition
stripper
for
pole
Twitch.
In the background.
Yeah,
this is competition for YouTube. Are you fucking kidding me? This isn't competition for Twitch exactly. Like,
well, it's primarily supposed to be a gaming thing.
Look who's live right now. Ralph is live right now.
Of course he is, because he can't come back to YouTube. Is he really over a Kick?
Yeah. No, he has been, because he's getting ready to get yeeted off of Cozy because of all that shit going on with that stuff, from my understanding. But it's like, this is just like, I mean, like, look, I might do a stream over on Kick just because I like to get saucier. But I've been doing this now for two years on YouTube. And I say a lot of shit, and I haven't been busted for what I've said, like the sexual shit, the jokes I make. That's fine. But it's like, this is all like video games and, I don't know, thick exotic baddies, pools, hot tubs, and bikinis.
I'm telling you, man, everybody's been talking about this, because like I'm telling you, man, people are pushing. There was this guy last night, right? Or this morning, because I was up wicked late. There was somebody, because we were talking about it. I was talking about with Tipster. And there was a guy who was like sharing actual porn. Like, he had porn playing in the background to get people to click on it to to promote his like main streaming, like his main thing. So he would get banned, and then he'd make another account and do that. Like, dude, it's wild what's going on over there right now. I'm hopping over there for sure. I'm gonna start like probably doing more lewd type content over there, because like, why not, dude? Then you get 90% of your friggin' earnings if you get monetized. 90%. That's where like people are really gonna start leaving to go there, is if they're willing to pay you.
Sure. I mean, like, look, here's the thing, right? It's like, I think, like, okay, and I completely understand why that's happening. Like, in no way do I not understand why that's happening. Rational here, for $5, thank you, says, steamygamer.com allows girls to stream naked. I'm looking at that website right now. And I don't see people streaming. I just see porn games.
Porn games. But Darkness, why are you saying, oh geez, Saggy? I literally did OnlyFans. Why are you making it sound like this is new?
I mean, that is true. She did do an OnlyFans and then got all mad because somebody leaked an image or something and then quit. But then she came back, apparently. So there's that.
No, I wasn't really active over there either.
Yeah, look, it's a hustle. It's a hustle. All that shit's a hustle. You know what I mean? Like, it really is. Let's see. We got Throg here for tenor. Thanks, buddy. Happy birthday, Matt. Hashtag HWAD gave me herpes. You need some too. Hashtag release the Jarbo cut. Hashtag Jarbo's birthday bash 2023. Hashtag AARP welcomes you. Fuck you. Hashtag see Jarbo now on Kickstream. I don't even need to wear pasties on Kickstream. That's going to show off all my nips.
You can show your nips on YouTube. They don't fucking censor
I know
men,
they don't.
please.
I know I mean, it's like, look, it's like I agree with the idea when it comes to the free the nipple thing. It's like, look, if men can showcase nipples, why can't women showcase nipples? And I understand there's an argument to be made, like, you know, the whole we don't sexually gratify men's nipples, you know. I mean, but
you don't. Some women.
Some women, I'm sure do. I'm sure some women straight up like can fill the ocean if they see a man's nips, right? I'm just saying that can happen. But really, I don't even know. And I'm down to see more boobies. So let's go. Let's go. Zap here for 5. Thanks, buddy. Says, happy birthday, Matt. If given the chance, would you debate Josh? You helped me see what a fool and POS he is. I can't watch Star Wars Theory streams with him anymore. Well, I mean, like, yeah, sure. The Den of Nerds, Josh from Den of Nerds is who he's talking about. I mean, it's like, look, man, I don't understand how those guys can be like pro Star Wars and be like, I can't watch Andor. Like, do you gotta fucking think? Like, are you just not happy with the fact that it's not pew, 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 whatever? I can't even make the sounds right now. Sounds like it's operating on double D's. On D batteries. That's what you That's why you could never find your D battery powered lightsaber back in the 70s. It always was in mommy's drawer. That was weird. But the lightsaber part never extended. Anyway, no, there's I would debate Josh. Yeah, sure. I would debate him over the merit of all that. The thing is, look, Den of Nerds is a scam channel, right? There was one guy, and this is my opinion, by the way, just my opinion. So I have had conversations with Josh in a call. He did tell me, we were talking, and this is true, Saggy. I said, this is in like 2019, I think, like right around the time The Rise of Skywalker was coming out. So we're like a little over a year past the whole Boulder stream stuff, right? So him and I are talking, and I go, hey, I just want to let you know, I'm a little controversial, you know? And he goes, well, me too. And I'm like, I don't think
me too.
And then he goes, I voted Trump. And I'm like, okay, I can understand in some circles how that be considered something, right? And I'm like, a little bit different in my scenario, just a wee bit, you know, all things considered. But in this particular case, though, like we're talking, and he starts mentioning this book about the 48 laws of rules of power, which is more or less about just kind of like using people for what they can give you and then get rid of them, essentially, right? Well, the thing is, he hires editors to edit his videos, which makes sense. But like, he'll only pay like $20 per video or some crap, right?
What?
And I talked to one guy who is a good editor, and he's actually no longer like doing YouTube anymore. And he was actually working with Josh, and we're talking about it one day, and he goes like, Josh hit me up asking me if I would edit a video for him, and I told him that the rate he wanted to pay me was too low. And then he's like, Josh was like at that point then starting to like just kind of like like guilt me about it, and like kind of, you know, really be real guilting and guilt trippy and all this kind of stuff. And I'm like, yeah, that's what he does. He's trying to get you to need him. It's like a pickup. It's like negging, right? On the pickup artist stuff. You know, it's like, it's basically undermines someone's own confidence to get them to seek validation from you. You know what I mean? So it's like when someone goes like, listen, okay, so you know how our friend, Mr. Pignor, Whenever somebody criticizes him or he gets mad, he'll be like, I always defended you. Yeah. Everyone told me I shouldn't talk to you, but I talked to you. I always defend you. Right? That's the same kind of mindset.
Right? I should have listened to everybody.
Yeah, I should have. Yeah. All these motherfuckers all run in the same goddamn social mindset, which is about what they can get from you, not what value they can provide to the audience. Now, the problem, though, is that they find themselves in situations or covering topics where there's a lot of emotion. Andy Signore's particular emotion is like abused females or abused men, whatever's, like whatever social drama he can pull from, right? Whatever has an emotional kick to it. So you've got that. Then you've got Josh from Den of Nerds, who's talking about like, I'm fighting the good fight for nerddom, and we got, all this other crap. And then in that situation, it's like, again, he's talking about Star Wars and Marvel, things people have an emotional stake in. And then now he's just like, I don't know if he just realizes that positive commentary on Star Wars is just like bad. And I mean that monetarily speaking, there's not a lot that you're going to get out of positive commentary. And maybe deep down, he doesn't want to talk about Andor or whatever else because he's just like, it doesn't benefit me to do it, but I need an excuse not to do it. Because you can't really sit there and say, I'm the Den of Nerds, which is entirely a ripoff, by the way, of Den of Geek, which actually is a publication. Not only are they a website, but they actually have a physical publication. So Josh, and they're out of the UK, I think. So Josh comes in and is like, I'm Den of Nerds. Like, as if that's not a direct ripoff of that particular title. That's what I'm talking about here. Everything he does is manufactured to be misleading and to be designed to emotionally bring you in. And I really do think that like he had to figure out a way to not talk about Star Wars. So he just claims to not like it. Star Wars. Whereas like I'm watching Mando, I'm having fun with it. But again, it is hard to sit there and do a live show and then also go and like have those conversations and whatnot, like finding the time and the energy. It does get tough to do. I get that. And then this is a business, so people have to think about things from that perspective.
My question really is why are we in this like era where hating things is like the more popular thing to do, or just like being angry? Because I enjoy talking about things that I like more than the things I don't like. I can sit here and nerd out. Like, when did nerds become assholes? Like that, it just makes no sense. Cause like being a nerd meant something good. Like we all loved things and we love to talk about things with other people who we love to talk about things. Now fandoms and being a nerd is just like a culture war, and it's so gross because it's like every time I do a stream talking about things I like, I have people in there just like telling me how I have bad taste in things and how like, no, it was awful. I'm like, dude, why can't I just like stuff? Why can't I just like The Mandalorian for what it is? Like, why can't I like certain characters that maybe you guys don't like the actor, but I still like the character and I like the actor who played it? And like, we can't talk about things we enjoy. It's always going to be about what we hate and why this show sucks and why these companies are ruining the fandom. It's just fucking nuts sometimes. And I just like, we're not nerds anymore. We're just assholes.
Well, so there was have you ever heard of the old saying, the meek shall inherit the earth?
Yes.
So there's kind of like a tongue-in-cheek take on that about 20 years ago, called the geek shall inherit the earth, as geek culture started becoming more prevalent, started becoming more popular, started becoming more accepted. And then because a lot of that stuff it blew up because it's fun stuff. I can understand why people like it. I like a lot of that stuff. But again, what we're talking about here is when we're scrolling headlines, all right, when you're just kind of thumbing through Google News or you're thumbing through Facebook News or whatever, and you're looking for something that's going to get your attention, generally speaking, something that looks negative is going to get more attention than anything else. And that's very problematic. And it's just very indicative of our society. It's a 24-hour news cycle, which we've been very much conditioned to fall into. So they have to keep things going 24 hours a day. They literally can tell you, like, this is how CNN, MSNBC, Fox, all those guys operate. They can see if they're covering a story as it's breaking or whatever, like a bigger story, they can see the retention that they're getting. If they're getting enough retention, they'll just keep talking about the story. You ever watch news as something is going down and literally every 5 minutes they just keep repeating the same shit.
Mm.
That's because they know there's interest there, but they don't have anything new to add. So they have to just keep recapping and recapping until something comes along for them to actually then go out and like move on with the day. And that's a big problem with this stuff, because if they're getting the ratings, then they're getting the ad dollars, you know, and that's the problem. And it's the same thing that happens with YouTube and stuff. I mean, like, look, I will fully admit, like, I'm super thankful that for 2 years I've been doing this stream, and I've, you know, there's enough of an audience here that's been able to really help support that. And I've been able to, like, that's half my job. That's half my income. You know what I mean? And I'm very thankful for that. And I cover it how I want to cover it, and I cover it in my own way. And I don't have to worry about the ad dollars because, you know, the algorithm is not on my side on this one. But a lot of other people, if you look at the Geeks and Gamers and Nerdrotic, they play on emotion. That's just all they can do.
It's just crazy because, like, I just remember going to movies with friends, and even if we didn't like the movie as much and it was like not that great, we would still just talk about it on the way home and just be like, yeah, no, it wasn't that great. And then that was it. Like, we just didn't think about it. We're like, okay, we saw it, we didn't like it. Oh, well, like it wasn't that great. Who cares? You know? But now when it comes to like YouTube, you're right. It's like now we've gotten to the place where people can make money off of shitting on things, and that's just the new norm. And I'm like, I'd much rather talk about things I like. And it's weird too, because, you know, when we talk about YouTube, it's always weird to me that people will always complain about, like, Geeks and Gamers, for example, right? It's like, okay, then why aren't you guys supporting the opposite of Geeks and Gamers? Why aren't you guys, like, making channels that are more positive about the things you like? Why aren't you guys giving those numbers and that money and time to those content creators? Instead, we're just complaining about Geeks and Gamers doing this, that, and the other thing, but, like, y'all aren't also supporting enough of the good ones. And it's crazy, because I've seen so many really great channels out there that talk about the same stuff Geeks and Gamers do, but they always talk about more of, like, the positive stuff, things that they liked, or even if they didn't like something, they'll try to find ways of saying, like, here's the pros and cons of why this was bad, and then this is stuff I like. Even if there wasn't much they like, they can try to find something that they can talk about they like. And even if something's just really bad, like, it's just, I just don't get why we live in this realm like this.
Well, again, it all boils down to social psychology. You know, like people like a train wreck. So it's rubbernecking to an extent. It's just digital rubbernecking. So for example, it's like, if you ever like driven by a car accident and you're just like, oh, what's going on over there? You know what I mean? Like, right. I want to see what's going on. And that's kind of the same point.
And this is all ironic coming from me, since I run a drama channel.
Yeah. Well, again, no, but talking about certain things, like, I mean, I gave you shit earlier about that. You're like, I'm going to go talk about Jonathan Majors. And I'm like, of course you are. Yeah. And she was like, what do you mean by that? And I'm like, because that's what you do. Like, you're just, of course, like you're incapable of not giving opinion on the subject. And I was going to talk about it, but I took last night off and stuff, and so it's just like, we do talk about this stuff, but I do feel you can talk about these things, but you still have to try to be like, as I don't want to say necessarily objective. Okay. Cause like, I mean, I am obviously very subjective, but I try to bring as much information as I can to back up my own thoughts on it. Right. But a lot of the times what it boils down to is, and if you look at like Geeks and Gamers and Nerdrotic and Fox News and all that shit, what it boils down to just being what's woke in their mind. That's it. There's no critical thought. There's no critical analysis. There's no deeper dive. It's literally like, look at what this blue hair, blue check mark says on Twitter. And that clearly represents what the entirety of the company has to say on this matter, which is in no way accurate. But they do that as a way to get people more and more upset. And again, that is simply just like, that is how people operate and everything else, and you hear about this, like, there's another, like, look at the whole Dominion defamation suit against Fox. Fox, like, their higher ups are like, yeah, no, that was bullshit. But we let our opinion shows run with it. And even the one person, the one woman who actually had like kind of stood up and like called it out, she just got fired, I think. Or no, she was like, Tucker Carlson tried to get her fired, and I think she was like suing for that, and they now fired her just the other day. I gotta look into it again, But it's like there's all this crap going on, and it makes it very difficult. Like if you're running a show, like think about it like this, like if you were able to do one show a week and it was well researched, well put together, a solid 30, 45 minutes, and you're able to do that, and then earn the money you need to earn for your bubble tea, because that's generally what you earn your money for.
That's
right.
True.
So if you were able to do that, would you do it one time a week?
What, make a video where I was covering
Yeah,
something
like,
and doing
yeah. Right. So would I. So would a lot of people, right? Because it's like, oh, that's like, it's concentrating it in a way that's going to be able to do well. Okay, great. Now the problem with that is that sometimes there's more things to talk about than just one in a week. And then also, if that one time a week is not guaranteed to have you hit what you need to hit, then you got to start doing more content. And that's where we start getting into this daily video shit, right?
The grifting.
It's just this is what YouTube does. Like YouTube literally through its algorithm forces, and this is not just YouTube, but like literally every algorithm wants more content, and it goes to the user generated content machine. And that ends up being the bigger thing. Anyway, there's a whole conversation to be had on that subject. And it's not necessarily the one we need to have right now. We did get Shiny here for 1669. Thank you, Shiny. It says, happy B-Day. Woo woo. We are all old. We are.
No, just Jarbo. Just
Jarbo. I'm feeling it today. Yeah. I'm all like, well, no, because here's the thing is I'm going on vacation in a month, like in a little less than 2 months. And I'm like, I would like to drop a little bit of weight. So I'm like, I'm going to start doing intermittent fasting again. Once I get past this, this particular situation with like the sickness and stuff. Cause I did it before 2 years ago when I dropped some weight, and so it's like, cool. I'm going back to Alaska. That's going to be fun. Alaska, doing a Royal Caribbean cruise.
Ooh, look at you, fancy.
Oh yeah. Well, I mean, I did Carnival last year, but we like cruising. Cruising's a lot of fun. It's a nice getaway for a week. It's a really nice getaway for a week.
I have never been on a cruise.
You should take the one out of Boston and do the New England cruise.
No, I should. The last time my mom went on a cruise, they went to Aruba, and it was hilarious because I was like 17 and my mom was like petrified to leave me alone for like a week. And I'm like, no, it's fine. I'm totally gonna go to school. No, I totally did not go to school that week. But they went on vacation and then they come back. My stepfather is in a freaking sling. I'm sorry, my mother was in a sling. My stepfather had like a big bandage on his head. And I'm like, my mom has bruises all over her face. And I'm like, what the fuck happened on your vacation to Bermuda? And it was the most craziest thing. So I guess what had happened is when they got off onto the way they were going, there was like this big wall, and my mom and my stepdad sat on top of it. And then my stepdad leaned in to wrap his hands around my mom to give her a kiss, but he leaned in a little too much or something, and they both fell off of it. And it was really like, it was high. My mom said it was a really high wall, and they fell onto concrete. And I was like, and that was the start of their vacation. So I was like, so you started your vacation broken. It was great.
Yeah, they went on a swingers cruise and they got fucked up. They lied to you. That's completely a lie.
I mean, that's also possible, but also
it's probably they tried something adventurous and they got hurt, and they're like, we need to think of a way to tell Saggy what's actually going on.
Well,
like, we fell off a wall.
I just thought it was funny that they went on vacation on this beautiful cruise and they came back all battered and beat up, and I was like, what the hell happened to you guys?
Sometimes that happens. Sometimes you go on a trip and you come back worse for wear. You know what I mean? So that can happen to all of us and stuff. I mean, I did one where I left. I wasn't going to go to Texas. My friend was joining the Army and he wanted to do one final trip out to Texas to see his other best friend. And he was like, "What?" He's like, "Do you want to come with us?" And I was like, "Yeah," but I had a cold. And I was like, "I don't know if I want to go because I have a cold."
Right. And
then we get in he borrowed his dad's Crown Victoria. And we drove a Crown Victoria from San Diego to fucking Dallas and back.
Not a bad car to drive for a road trip, though.
No, it was comfy because it's a fucking cop car though. It's a Crown Vic. This was a decommissioned cop car.
Yeah, my first car
It
was a
was very
95 Crown
nice.
Vic. Yeah, and trust me, I know. My first car was a 95 Crown Victoria. That thing
Yeah.
whipped you. Woo.
We ran out of gas though outside of some small town in Arizona. We didn't we realized that the gas gauge was broken and that it might have shown us like having a quarter tank, but that was not accurate.
That's funny. And not only
So
that, Crown Vics are gas guzzlers.
oh yeah, so we ended up running out of gas about like 2 miles outside of this town. It was I forget the name of the town. It was I think it's translated to like big house or whatever. I don't quite know what it was. It was something it was somewhere in Arizona. It was by like the I-10 I-8 merger somewhere in there. And we ended up having like to walk into this town like at like midnight trying to find gas, and like everything was shut down, and it was just like a hell of a thing just to get out, just to get gas can back to the car, to get it to the gas station to keep on the road. It was, and then the good thing about that though, I'll say this is like the good thing is I had a cough, I was cold, but that dry air in the walking cleared me out. So I still had a bit of a cough for the next couple days, but I felt fine and I could smoke, and I needed to smoke.
Yeah, that's right. You were a smoker.
I was a smoker for a long time, 9 years, but yeah. Yeah. So crazy. Anyway, H Bart's here for Fiverr. Thank you. Says, I left a free super chat. H Bart's, I'm so sorry. I missed that, buddy. It says here, check your PayPal. Happy birth, miss. Oh shit, son. I didn't even, all right. Let me check here. Haven't even thought about that. All right. One moment. It's always anticipation, right? It's like Christmas. Let's see. You got money. $50 from H Barts. Thank you so much, H Parts. Really appreciate that. Also, James from Small Screen did kick down a $20 birthday bump later earlier on. Thank you, James from Small Screen as well.
I love James. Can we just
James?
talk about
James
how
is
much I love
James is a good guy. James is a really good guy. Thank you so much, H Parts. Really appreciate that, man. Thank you guys.
Is a sweetheart, and he has a nice voice that is just soothing to listen to.
James is really cool. I was watching him play Metal Gear Solid 5. I love to troll him while he's playing Metal Gear Solid because he likes to just play and like he likes to just kind of like zone out. And so I was watching him stream the other night, and then I was just like messaging like, "Hey, what are your thoughts on AI?"
You're a dick. I watched. I lurk sometimes, but I did watch it play. I love Metal Gear. It's one of my favorite games. We've talked about this because you're a Metal Gear hater, so you know.
No, I'm not a Metal Gear hater. I think functionally speaking, the games are well made. And I think Metal Gear Solid 5 is an exceptionally well made game. Like very well made. It still looks good 7 years later, 7.5 years later. You know?
Yeah, you're just a hater. We are.
I'm not. Oh yeah, I bought it day one, Saggy. Back in 2015, eh? I did.
Oh, I mean, I don't care because you talk so much shit.
That and Mad Max came out at the same day. Both games. I got up in the morning. I didn't have a car. I got up in the morning, walked over to the bus stop, took the bus to the mall, went to Best Buy, got my copies, went back home, and I played them.
When you said Mad Max came out that same day, first thing in my head was like, I was like,
well, I mean, it would make his streams more interesting. Let's be fair.
Oh, I was trying to I was making a joke, and you took it to head.
Yeah, I know. No, it's all good. He's probably listening right now. Anyway, McLeod here says Snake Eater will always be my personal favorite. See, here's the thing: the camera work for Snake Eater was so bad. I bought it. It was that's not a lot. No, the camera work for the OG release of Snake Eater was really bad. They did a re-update. There was another version of it that updated the cameras. The camera on that, I had gone out and I'd bought it for PS2. And I took it home and I played it. I played it for like 5 minutes. I said, fuck this. I took it out. I took it back and returned it. I was like, no.
It's still good. It's still a good game.
Oh, I'm sure it's a great game, but like I can't handle that camera. It's like I was trying to play for Games Pass, I downloaded the Ninja Gaiden Sigma trilogy. And I started playing that again, and I was like, oh my God, I forgot how much I hate Tomonobu Dagaki games. But then it was explained to me that the Sigma games were kind of like a remaster, or like it was something else that like was done. It was toned down. I don't know. I mean, like, but again, the Ninja Gaiden game just had I don't like the camera angles. I'm sorry. You know what I mean? I don't like those static cameras. I hated that about the first two Resident Evil games. having like the static cameras. I just did not like those. Not to say you can't play that, but it's like not what I choose to go to. I like what they've done with the remakes.
Okay. Well,
no, the PS2 version it was a PS2 version of that. So anyway, yeah, all right. So we went on for an hour. Haven't even really addressed the two main topics I wanted to get to tonight. But that's okay. We never do. We never do. People get mad at me like, well, if you got to the topics first, and I'm all like, well, it goes either way. It can go either way. You're here. Like the way I look at it is like this. Like I'll get there eventually. Sometimes faster than others. Yeah. I mean, don't you want her to get there fast?
Why did you say it like that tone? That was so sus.
It's like, don't you? I mean, like women can have multiple orgasms, and like men get one. You
said that so sus, though.
How is that sus?
I don't know, just sounded sus. But yes, we do have topics.
Yeah, there's topics, right? Multiple orgasms is a topic.
You gotta put that in the You gotta put that in the title.
Oh, well, if you look at Jonathan Majors, his mouth here, he's got a lot of pictures of him have that weird kind of like ooh look going on, like he's trying to smolder. And it's just not working out very well.
I noticed that when I was making my thumbnail today too. I'm like, why is all of his pictures look like that? By the way, I'm gonna send you a funny video somebody sent me, and I think they made it, but I have to send this to you. I was cracking up when I saw this. I was like, I think it's too soon, but maybe you'll appreciate it if you think it's funny enough. You'll show it to everybody else.
All right, yeah, we'll show me that, and we'll dive into the first thing here. So the first thing I want to talk about real quick here is actually Ryan, did we watch Hell of a Boss episode 1? Send me that on Discord. We'll take a look at that. That one should be okay. It's the Has-Been Hotel that was getting real bad. All right, so thank you for that, Ryan. Appreciate that. And then immediately I hear the ding on Discord. So Ryan's on it. All right, so well, I mentioned this earlier, right? So it's like we talked about the negativity aspect of coverage, okay? And why it works. So like I'm going to call that RJ for a hot second. All right. I'm going to call it RJ for a hot second. Because RJ put out a comment on Twitter. I'll just bring it up real quick here. All right. Let me find this one here.
Oh boy. Of course, RJ.
RJ, right? So this is what RJ posted yesterday. All right. Says it sucks that all the movie talk of all the things I love so much are all embroiled in controversy and extreme negativity. Things just suck right now across the board. So the reason why I gave him shit was because it's like, so this one right here, it's a disaster. Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania is running out of steam at the box office with 470 million globally, right? And then he comments on it. It's a disaster. So it's like, okay, well, if it's not negative, then it's like, well, why are you responding then to the negativity? I wonder if there's I gave him shit and he said facts are facts, but he does this kind of stuff. I think it's pretty funny. There's another one that he had. Here we go. Right. Again, it's a discussing film. Shazam! Fury of the Gods earned 2.35 million yesterday, 80% decline from last Friday. And then him responding with it's Jover. So he's posting a negative meme and respond to something that is a downer story. And then goes, well, I don't like how it's always so negative. Well, bitch, you add to it.
Oh.
Well, I mean, I'm not wrong. I'm not wrong.
Ooh.
Am I wrong?
No, man. I'm gonna stay out of this. Listen, I haven't given him my answer yet, so I have to be nice.
Hold on with that. So that video you sent me, who is the blonde chick? Is that the girl?
I think that's the girl. Yeah. I think that's
okay. Not what I was expecting, to be fair. But all right here. So yeah, we'll, my whole point though is like, look, I try not like, I'm going to defend, Shazam! Fury of the Gods. For one, it ended up the weekend with 9.7 million, a 68% drop, not 80%, which is what it was on Friday. It picked up some steam over the weekend. And obviously it did fare fairly well, I think it came in like number 2 or whatever, But again, it's up against John Wick Chapter 4. And that's just a big franchise. That's a bigger franchise than Shazam. Because here's the thing, is the last time we saw John Wick was right after Shazam 1 had come out. John Wick Chapter 3 Parabellum opened in May of 2019. Shazam 1 opened in April of 2019. That's how long it took for both of those sequels to come out. But the thing is, though, is that the John Wick franchise has only grown in popularity since then because everyone likes Keanu Reeves and the movies are fucking fantastic. Shazam had one movie, 3 regimes or a couple regime changes with its parent company, and then all the other bullshit to kind of happen, right? And so obviously there's some stuff there, but people have been really, really, really ragging on it, right? So like I saw this one today. Now this one today is coming in from Anson Mount. This has been kind of spread around quite a bit, where, you know, Anson is just doing the Black Bolt thing to Zachary Levi, and people are like, oh shit, fucking Anson Mount is just calling him out, dude. Well, before we dive into this specific video, which is also wildly misleading, Anson Mount gives no fucks. So I went looking through his Twitter feed right here. 5 hours ago, it says, don't tweet about gratitude, simply acknowledge it. Responding to Gail Ann Hurd, who is the producer of the Terminator franchise as well as The Walking Dead. And she says, things seem so much more challenging these days, which makes me appreciate life, family, friends, and colleagues, and all the daily joys of life that life brings. I hope to tweet about gratitude whenever possible. So he's like, don't tweet about it, just acknowledge it, which is a fair thing to say. Okay, but he's just kind of like, he just likes to throw like this. Look at this one here. What's the one thing that annoys you other than celebrities asking random questions on Twitter and feigning interest in your answers? Like, he's got no chill. He's got no chill. And you know what? That's great. I love Anson Mount. So him calling out this specific post right here is really just kind of more in line with what he does. And that's really about it. All right, McLeod says, good old Captain Pike, Anson Mount's good people. Yes, if you guys, by the way, if you guys have not seen Hell on Wheels, it is a phenomenally awesome show. Have you watched that one yet, Saggy?
Negative.
You gotta watch Hell on Wheels.
I gotta watch a lot of things. You're
if you want, okay, I'm gonna tell. Okay, Justified, 5 seasons of Justified, top tier. 5 seasons of fucking, I think 4 or 5 seasons of Hell on Wheels. Do you like the actor / rapper Common?
Yeah. Common
is in, I think, the first 2 seasons of Hell on Wheels.
Common is everywhere lately.
Dude, Common's the shit. I love Common.
He's been everywhere. I'm glad he became an actor, man. I love seeing him become an actor because he's one of the very few rappers that's really, really good at acting. I love the roles he is in. He's got a great line in the movie Smokin' Aces with Alicia Keys. Like when he saves her after the shootout and he just goes like, you gonna make a bleep fall hard? You've seen Smokin' Aces, right? No.
Oh my fucking God, Saggy. How have you not seen Smokin' Aces?
See, you asked me these questions. It's like, well, what year did these films come out? Because I didn't really become into movies and TV shows that hard.
2006.
Yeah, I was not into like movies like that.
Okay, I'll tell you what, I'm going to show you the trailer.
Hardcore
right, I'm going to show you the trailer real quick for this because it's a great movie. And I want you to just look to see all the actors that are in this film. Okay? Just look at all the actors that you can see. And there's probably more that you're not. But this is such a fucking crazy ass movie. Check it out.
Hi, Jack. Great, good, super. Come on in. Good to see you.
Pete.
Hello, Rip Reed. Come on in. Good, great. Come on. What's nerd? Great. Come on in. Sorry about that.
Hey, Hollis.
Rip Reed. Hello, Hollis. Come on in.
Let's get to the business at hand.
This wanted felon here, Buddy Israel, little Rick Springfield, I guess. His posse, they're all strapped. Or packing heat, whatever the phrase is. I don't know what you guys call it. Strapped down. Hey, man, that's not yours.
Put the rabbit down. Buddy Israel.
No former witness against the mob has been as crucial as Buddy
Aces.
Israel.
He's a strung out, washed up, has-been, jerk, snitch, 7-layer loser.
What are you trying to say? What's the rate?
$1 million. $1 million hit fee would draw some huge flies. He's not only essential to our case, he is our case.
They're gonna pour boxes of bullets in Israel.
They must not succeed.
When do we get consigned?
If an attempt is made on his life, it'll be made by those of the strictest professional caliber.
are you gonna do?
I'm gonna get to Israel before they do. We gotta keep him in that penthouse.
These guys will go megaton.
You're steering hard, player. I'm going down.
I bet you are.
Interesting.
Yeah, Chris Pine. You have Chris Pine in that.
Look at all my videos.
Yeah,
I crack up every time when the video ends and you just see my videos and you're recommending.
well, so funny. You got Ryan. Oh, here's Max. I guess I don't even know. You know. Anyway, Smoking Aces is a great flick.
Right, I didn't even remember seeing the trailer for that. But I love when people are always like, "You're seriously saying you haven't seen this movie?" I'm like, bro. When you guys ask me about certain movies, like I've been on and off of movie and TV show watching for a while. Like I have my moments where I have my phases where I'll be like all about watching all kinds of different movies and TV shows, and then I'll be like hardcore into gaming for a while. Now I have like a little nice balance of both. But yeah, like when you guys are like, "You never seen Smoking Ace?" Something now in the early 2000s, I was out a lot. I was out with friends, getting drunk, partying. Like I was an outdoor person, so I wasn't really inside watching TV shows to see the trailer ads, commercials and stuff to be like, "Oh, I need to see this." No, like the movies I saw were like nerdy shit, like nerdy shit. When I was like, so no, back in the early 2000s, I was out of my house and stuff. On the weekends, y'all were going to see movies. I was going to clubs. So.
Well, on the weekends, I was working in a movie theater, so at that time, I would have been a manager. So yeah, I was. That's what I was doing. So so if there was a movie I wanted to go see, I would just go see it Friday morning before going to work that night, and then I'd go to work and we'd have it there and I'd talk about it. And my coworker, even my boss, the owner of the theater, was like, "Why do you spend your money to go to a theater when you could just watch it here for free?" And I'm like, because I don't want to be fucking interrupted.
That's true. Well, no. So the only time I watched movies, like I've watched movies, right? Like around those times, but the only movies I really watch is like whatever my friends want to do. So like if my friends were like, "Hey, what do you want to do like this week?" Like, well, there's this movie coming out that they would know about that they want to see, and they'd be like, "You just want to come see the movie?" And I wouldn't even care like what the movie is or whatever. I'd be like, "Yeah, my friends want to go and see a movie. Let's go see a movie." That was the only time, but we didn't do that much because, like I said, we were just kind of like, I think, how old was I in the early 2000s? Like probably my early 20s. So like I was in my party girl phase. So movies I've seen were mostly like whatever my friends wanted to see, like if something hot drop that they were interested in, they'd be like, "Yeah, let's go see a movie." And then right after that, we just go to a club and get wasted and forget everything we just saw.
Hold on. Wait, what? Zod Writer has added a chapter about you in his book? Bullshit.
I don't know how people keep telling us that, or I think he made a post saying that he like added me and RJ into the book or something. I mean, he's like, "Oh, the haters are gonna completely lose their mind when they see what I'm writing." And I'm like, you act like the haters are gonna read your fucking book, dude. Like, we're not gonna read your book. I'm not gonna read your fucking book.
If he wants to add a chapter about me, all it's gonna be is about the fucking stupid ass joke. That's about it, right? Or that, like, again, people like, I'm not involved in any of this shit. I just have a loud voice and like to be snarky. That's really about it.
I don't think Zod knows this, and I hope Zod is watching or somebody can like let him know. When you like publish a book and you put in slander in that book, you are opening yourself up for definitely a lawsuit, especially if you're selling that book. Just saying. Just keep that in mind when you're writing your book about the truth. It can come off as slander.
Well, I'm trying to find
libel.
Yeah. Well, we'll have to wait. I know that he's been recommended to me on Instagram. So he posts all this shit on Instagram and stuff. No, he does it on his Facebook. Let me go bring up Facebook real quick. Let me see if I can find it there. There we go. All right. He's actually in my recent searches. I'll be honest about that. So anything. Okay. Wait. What? No fucking. Sorry.
You okay? You okay? What happened? What happened?
Sorry.
I don't. What
He
happened?
posted this on his Facebook. Notice to cease and desist.
Wait, what?
Like somebody had sent him a fake cease and desist letter. Apparently, somebody.
Oh yeah, that weird David Zaslav account.
You're like.
I love how he thinks that it's like about his book. Like people hate him because he's writing a book. It's like, no, people just don't like you, dude.
No, man, you're fucking dumb, dog. All right, so here's the current updated situation. Okay, so he has a 16 chapter book apparently. So you've got but all the way down here, chapter 13. So chapter 11, I don't even know why he's got a whole chapter on Ski Walker. That's weird. Chapter 12, sells ESJL to Netflix and the Snyderverse one, and then Full Circle. Like, so he's adding these chapters. What's even? So, I mean, I guess he's probably going to have like somewhere
I think the Snyder Cut Fighters with a Z at the end. That might be about
us. I don't know. That comes across like real edgy, like early 2000s shit. Like,
yeah, but see, like, I mean, that sounds like that's probably
that sounds pretty stupid. But anyway, that to me is really funny. So dumb. But
apparently, I'm getting out of the book. Like, why? Here's the thing. Why do you people keep giving me a fucking tension? Like, holy crap! If you want me to go away and shut up, just like stop acknowledging I exist. I guess.
You would like to think that would be the case, but they simply can't. They like simply.
That's literally like the most simplest thing. It's like if you hate somebody so much that you like, if you keep like the fact that they were tagging Zack Snyder, like all day that day after that, all day they were tagging Zack Snyder. I'm sitting there like, do you guys understand what you're actually doing? Like you're actually like getting my name now trending, which is great because that's what they're known for, right? Getting shit trend. So they're getting my name to trend and your name to trend, and then all of these people who have no idea who we are gonna seek us out to be like, what's going on? And some of them might see us and be like, yeah, you guys are right, they're crazy. But I've gotten actually a lot of people that have actually like supported me, oddly enough. And I'm like, that you guys are giving me free promotion. So like, please continue to hate me because like it helps my channel. I might get to 3K by the end of the year.
Maybe.
That
would be good.
At this rate, I would be a 3,000 sub channel.
Well, I'm looking through like Zod's Twitter right now, and I'm just looking to see what they're all talking about. And so Mikey had written a little bit about what had gone on, and they're all trying to play that up. Zap, you're asking, did I see Angry Joe's review of Shazam 2? I don't think he can be trusted to unbiasedly review any of these James Gunn films because he associates James with Cavill's end as Superman. I mean, look, here's the thing with Angry Joe. I've unfollowed Angry Joe. I've unsubbed from Angry Joe. I just can't do it. I just can't do it. Right? It's like the guy's entire shtick is stuck in 2012. You know what I mean? It's like you have to evolve, and he's afraid to evolve. So, he's still going to be rocking that same smelly ass leather jacket and everything else. He'll be fucking 50. And be like, fucking Warner Brothers, fuck you. I'm Angry Joe. And it's like, dude, that's just like, now it's a stick, But he'll have a bigger audience than me entirely. It is what it is. But anyway, look, I want to get to this real quick here because this is going back to the Shazam thing because we kind of been all over the place. This is the clip that Anson Mount was responding to. Saki, you posted this in the DM group as well.
Yeah, I wasn't sure if you guys saw it.
So this is where, like, I said this earlier. I'm like, I feel bad for Zachary Levi. I really do. Or Levi, however you want to pronounce his name. I feel bad for this guy. because all he's trying to do is defend his movie, which I think more people need to do. And the thing is, though, he gets something like this, which ends up getting nearly, 766,000 views on Twitter, but it's deceptively edited. And let's see if you can spot where that is.
I love Keanu Reeves. If you want to go see John Wick, fucking go for it. I mean, I'm not going to tell you not to. But John Wick's not a family movie. So if you're looking for a movie for your family or your date or whatever, or you just don't want to get into like hardcore, pop, go see Shazam! Fury of the Gods. We are a far better film, and those of you who have seen the movie know this.
So could you catch that?
Yep, the we are a far better film. That was taken out of context, definitely.
Oh yeah, no, it was 100% edited like that, and it was posted over here on TikTok and then reshared to Twitter. I don't even know what it did on TikTok from the movie maniacs, right? But then this guy here says, "Oh guys, this is getting super weird." Well, thankfully, they had commented back below underneath it, and that talked. Oh no, it was under the Anson Mount tweet, I think, had talked about the actual context. Maybe I got to find it. There was. Yeah, here we go. I'm not a Zach Levy fan, but the clip he cuts out certain things. He said exactly what's wrong with the media, though, and this is the rest of that.
Is it a perfect film? No, I don't. I'm hard pressed to think of perfect films, but we are a far better film than some of these critics, reviewers have given us credit for. And those of you who have seen the movie know this, and those of you who haven't seen the movie are in for a treat, because is it a perfect film?
That's it. Like, that's what he was saying. They weren't saying that he was better than John Wick. He was just saying that some of the critics out there are fucking assholes. And we all know that. If we've looked at Rotten Tomato scores for years on this show and just in general. We oftentimes make fun of Rotten Tomato scores. And we've talked a lot about how critics are simply just like fucking jaded, bitter bitches. You know?
Yep.
And the way that Rotten Tomatoes runs its game is that like the critic who's approved gets the opportunity to select what they rate it. And then they put the blurb in there, and it's all about trying to draw. It's an aggregate that's meant to draw traffic to the review to get the full context. But let's be fair. Have you ever clicked on a review outside of Rotten Tomatoes and gone and seen the full context?
Nope.
Same here. Honestly, in large part, that has a lot to do with the fact that I simply just don't read reviews or watch reviews until after I see the movie. And again, only if it's like a couple people, like if someone tells me like Grace has got a really bad take on something, or if someone else has a really bad take on a review, then I'll go take a look at it, normally speaking. But for the most part, I don't really watch reviews. I like discussions on movies. I'll watch discussions on films, but I don't care about a review. Because I just kind of feel like it's like you are just rapidly trying to get something out there in order to capitalize on the fact that it's hot in the moment. Which is really what all media coverage is, to be fair. But that's the thing, is like, it's true. Like, this clip was shared out of context. It's got nearly, 766,000 views. And people out there are using it to attack Zachary Levy. And I feel bad. It's a fine movie. It's a fun movie. It's got one of the better uses of the song "I Need a Hero." Do you know that track, right?
Yeah, the one that they play in like almost every movie. No,
like the one it's in Shrek 2 and the climax of Shrek 2, and I was laughing my ass off when I was watching it in Shazam because I was like thinking back to Shrek 2 and stuff. But it's just like, I feel like there's just no honesty about this. Like, you have an actor defending his movie and people are like, just stop defending your movie. And it's like fuck off. Like, fuck off, man. Like, go and make a movie then. Like, go and put your fucking, like, look, like I have In Search Of is whatever, right? Some people really like it. Some people don't like it. I appreciate anyone who watches it 100%. But it's like, if people want to badmouth the movie to me, like Tony Geeks, God, what the fuck's this?
The Geek Getaway?
The Geek Getaway. Thank you. I don't know why I blanked on that. He hit me up on DMs a few weeks ago and he's like, hey, can we watch the movie on my stream? And I was like, yeah, go ahead. Right? Like, no problem. And then after they got done watching it, like a bunch of his people were just like, they're fucking like messaging me on Twitter, like talking lots of shit about it. And then I ended up going into a call with him after that he was live. and talking with some of those guys for a bit and then giving them background story on some of the stuff. And they were like, oh, I didn't know any of that information. And so it's like, that kind of makes it a little bit different now. And I'm like, yeah, because oftentimes it's all about the lens of how something is looked at, right? So for example, if you go to watch In Search Of and you're watching with a group of people that want to kind of riff tracks it, right? They want to lampoon it. They want to make fun of it. That is the mindset that you will then have while watching the movie, meaning that any flub, any flaw, anything that's not perfect is going to end up being very much amplified for the sake of making fun of it.
Right.
Right. And again, but when you make a movie, when you put it out there, you have no control how people receive it. Okay.
Right. I mean, for the record, real quick too, before you go on, I saw after I realized he was streaming it, I actually found it and watched it myself. And I think I gave my feedback. I thought it was actually pretty good. Like it was.
When the lights.
You mean this? I actually have the whole 13 minutes, but I didn't want to watch the whole thing, but I do have it. Right.
I mean, I was talking about your movie.
Oh, you are. Oh, my. I thought you were talking about the Zachary Levi thing. Oh, okay.
I was going to talk about your movie.
Sorry. Okay. Yeah. Sorry. Go back. Well, I was on a totally different track with that. But what were you saying?
Well, the movie that you did, the one that Tony was watching, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like I watched it because he said he was going to watch on a stream, but I watched it beforehand. Like I was like, oh, I never actually got around to watching it. So I found it on YouTube and I watched it, and I thought it was pretty good for what it was trying to do. I will say this, I didn't expect the twist. I'm not going to spoil it for anyone who wants to watch it. I didn't expect the twist ending, which was actually really interesting because I'm usually really good at like figuring out a storyline and where it's going. But with that one, I couldn't figure it out. I actually thought it was a good, very no budget film. You know what I mean? Like, I think
it was literally no budget. I mean, like, this is me in 2010.
Right, but I enjoyed it, and when I went into it, I knew that it was probably going to be, for one, funny because I know you personally. So I was like, "Oh, this is going to be hilarious seeing like a young Matt Jarbo doing a film." But I actually did enjoy it, and I was like, that's the thing. I try to go into these things wanting to like it, and if I hate it, I just hate it. And that's what I said. Like, I liked it. Like, yeah, you're showing it now. I watched the whole thing. From start to finish, I watched the whole thing, and it was interesting. I love the twist at the end. Certain see, I want to talk about it, but I don't want to spoil it. But it's worth watching. I will say that it was worth watching, especially if you watch Matt here. Like, go watch this. It's actually pretty funny, and I think I praised Matt because I said it felt very genuine. Like, even though it's not like the best movie, obviously it's not like a best movie, but
oh God, no.
But the dialogue felt genuine. It didn't feel like you were reading lines. It felt like two people having like a bro conversation. It felt very organic. So,
well, that's the thing.
Up until the end.
Up until the end, yeah.
There's obviously lines, but the majority of the film was very organic because, like I said, it's just Matt and his buddy having conversations, talking shit to each other. That's what I loved about it too. Like, you guys would like poke fun at each other, kind of like me and you do. And I was like, yeah, that's Matt.
Oh, no, there's literally a part in this movie, I forget where it's at, where I tell him to stop being a bitch.
No, you did.
And that's me actually telling him to stop being a bitch. Because, like, he had this, for some reason, I don't know what was going on that day. Mark just had, like he was just not feeling something in that moment in time, like, whatever. And I had I've put him in tons of other projects over the years, and so, like, he knows I've made him earn some shit, whatever, man. But like it was just funny because it all kind of came together. I don't know what the fuck I was saying that for, but it's a fun movie. You guys can check it out. It's free to watch. ISO-themovie.com, 100% free. It's like 73 minutes. Watch through the end credits. No one ever does. Watch through the end credits.
Oh, I think it was end credits?
There's an end credit post scene. Yeah.
Oh, shit. I didn't even know that.
Yeah, there's an end credit post scene with that one.
To go back and get the end
I don't even fucking I can talk more about that after the fact. It's really weird. It is what it is. But the movie, it means a lot to me on a personal level. I love that. I love the movie. I've watched it a bunch just on my own, like, and I know it, like, I just know, like, oh yeah, we shot that, how we shot that and stuff. Like how certain things came together, but it's kind of a culmination of like my time living in San Diego. I feel like as what for whatever In Search of is, it's very personal to me for like what it entails, because like I wanted to leave San Diego and move to LA to pursue filmmaking, but I didn't want to leave San Diego without having a feature film under my belt. And anyone who knows me knows my favorite genre are point of view found footage. I love those movies. And so that was my favorite genre, and I wanted to do something. And so I just had this idea. I had another idea originally. The In Search of was originally called In Search of the ISO Killer, which is a completely different story and one I still want to do. But I ended up just kind of like tweaking it and scaling it down to being this kind of intimate story about a guy who's just trying to find love. And like, no, really, like I get it. Cause it's like we'd been there, and like both Mark and I had been there, and like heartbreak and loneliness and things like that. And like turning to the internet and like hoping that like some random message will lead you down this path to like finding what makes you happy. You know what I mean? Like, just like,
I'm only laughing because like, I'm not saying, I wasn't laughing at like the fact that it was like about finding love. It's just like, you guys should really just watch it to understand.
You got to watch it to understand. It is like two friends and shit, fucking whatever. But like, is actually kind of a funny story about like there's one time I was so mad at Mark. Okay. So like, I don't know why, like there was this one girl that I'd met, and I think her name was Kim. It's been so long. And her and I had this kind of like, just like, we just had this phone relationship. I never actually met her. We had a phone relationship, and she lived local. And whatnot.
Was she a catfish?
She wasn't a catfish. But like there was something about it where like she wanted to meet me. Something about it was off. I didn't want to meet her. I don't know why. Maybe I was just nervous. I don't know why. But then like her and I ended up kind of getting into it one night, and like Marky was over, and like Marky like called her, right, from like his phone. He's like, give me the number, and he fucking chewed her out. And then like she ended up like calling him back that night after he went home. And then they ended up apparently going out, like, and everything else. And later on, right? And I was like, what the fuck? And here's the funny thing about it. Like, he didn't tell, how I found out about it? How I found out about it was like, he was at my house like about a week later. We were watching a movie, and he left his phone at my house. Right. And like, it was like 2 a.m. And I get a message from him on like AIM or something. And he's just like, are you still awake? And I'm like, yeah. He's like, I left my phone. And I'm like, oh, okay. And the thing is, look, Mark lived maybe like 15 minutes away from my house, right? If that, like, I could get to his house super fast, but he always took 45 fucking minutes to get to my place. Always. It didn't matter. 35, 40 fucking minutes. Like, he was never a fast mover. Okay. He was at my place in like 12 minutes from when he hit me up. Like, this motherfucker sped to get to my house. And I was like, something is on that phone he does not want me to see. And I didn't say shit about it until later on. I kind of cornered him on it. And I got the answer. And I was pissed initially. I was pissed initially about that, because I was like, what the fuck are you doing, sort of thing, right? Like, like, what's going on with this? And then he's just like, yeah, we hung out, like, whatever. And, and I'm like, dude, like, I didn't see her. I don't really think I talked to her again after that, but like, she tried to get my attention, like, I think like a week or so later. She sent me an email of nothing but her nudes. Right? Just nothing but her nudes. She had sent me this email, and I'm like, this is a very weird attempt at getting my attention.
It's just like, girls like that piss me off.
Girls like that are kind of fucking weird, and it's
not
just
weird. They're just seen next to. They make women look bad in general when they do like stupid shit like that.
Yeah.
Like, if you had no interest in the dude, like, you could have just said so. You didn't have to smash the homie. Like,
well, I mean, it was like, no, she was interested in me, but like, I wasn't like, because I was older by a couple years. You know what I mean? Like, I think like,
smashed the homie, bro.
I don't know if they ever fucking smashed. I think like they fooled around or whatever. But it was just like, See, I was one of those weird guys. This is where like the kind of like for me, I kind of view I view the whole sexual encounter situation not as some like I don't look at it as being like a frivolous thing, right? Like I've always kind of approached it from like I want this to mean something, you know, which might have actually restricted me multiple times throughout my youth as like not chasing tail like how a lot of guys do, because like I had a lot of women that were like I guess you could say after all these years looking back on it, like I played hard to get. Because I'd tell a girl, I'd be talking to her on the phone and everything, and she'd be like, hey, do you want to see my boobs? And then I would go, no. And she's like, why? And I'm like, because I just don't want to, like, I mean, eventually, sure, yeah. You know, I mean, I'm not against, right? But I just don't want you to send me a photo of, like, your titties. Like, I don't know you.
Especially if there's a tattoo on there. You definitely don't
No,
want
no, if this is, yeah, maybe that's why. Maybe that's why I have my, I don't know. But no, it just is such a weird thing. And so, like, but, like, they would always do it. They would always do it. And like one girl even sent like, we had mutual friends. We'd met on like, maybe it was like Yahoo Chat or whatever. This is like early 2000s, right? Like Yahoo Chat, or maybe it was Craigslist. I forget where, something online. And like, but we had mutual friends, and she kind of, she's like, hey, do you want to see? And I'm all like, no. So she sent me a full on shot of her crotch. Like late night cell phone camera shot. Like, just it was the weirdest thing I've ever, like, I just remember going like, why the fuck did you send me this? Like, what? Like, I don't know. Like, have you ever, I mean, I've never sent a picture of anything, you know, like I've never taken a picture of myself and sent it, you know, like unsolicited like that. Like, I mean, I just don't get it, Saggy. Maybe I'm just weird. Maybe I'm just odd like that, but it's like,
Yeah, you're a little weird for a guy, bro, to sit there and be like, I don't want a titty. Like, what?
no, it's not that I don't want a titty. Let me just quickly reiterate that point. I love boobs. All right. I love women. I love the female form. Not against any of that. I wanted it to be like, I feel like I wanted it to be like an earned experience. Does that make sense? Like I wanted it to mean something. Cause look, here's oftentimes what we don't see in like romantic comedies is that the guy wants the girl as much as the girl wants the guy. Guys want relationships. Guys want companionship. Guys want all this stuff as well. But that's always like, that's never really represented in a lot of media. It's always like guys are just horny. They just want to smash. So that's kind of like the vibe we have to live up to.
Yeah, but girls are also just
horny and they want to smash. Right? It's true. But it's kind of one of those things where, and again, you're right. Like going back, if I could like go back and do it differently, I probably would in a couple of different ways, because like there was this, I don't really, you know what it is? No, it was my mom. My mom had told me something when I was younger that I think stuck with me. Cause she goes like, she's like, well, like she gave me the talk, right? That talk that you get.
The hoes ain't loyal talk. Yeah.
Yeah. No, not the hoes ain't loyal. But she just goes like, she's like, you know, she's like, you're becoming a young man and you know, you're going to have your adventures, I guess. And, you know, she goes, the thing you have to remember though, is that when it comes to sex, and I was like, ew, mom, gross. No, she's like, no, hear me out. She goes, when it comes to sex, for men, it's very physical. For women, it's very emotional. It's very mental. So it's like, you have to like look at it from that perspective. And I really think that's probably what stuck with me, is that like, because, you know, for guys, again, like you could just, we get there, whatever. Right. But like with women, it's largely in some cases, it's a different story. Not all cases, but just, I think that might have stuck with me a little bit too much. Or maybe I'm just a hopeless ass fucking romantic.
Or maybe them hoes ain't just loyal.
Maybe. Yeah. There's I'll tell you this, either I ignored the girls that were like really like, I also have a thing for like damaged women. I realized that like there was like the stripper I dated. I really liked her. I knew she was fucked up, but I really liked her, you know?
Yeah. She's a stripper. She had a banging bod, of course.
She did, but no, not only just that, but it was like there was the elements of there. It was like, I don't know if it's like that whole I can fix them sort of mentality. Because we all know that.
White knight syndrome.
What's it?
White knight syndrome.
Maybe it does, right? Because there was her, and then like that whole thing like finally hit its apex, whatever. And then there was another girl a couple years later that was like also like an alcoholic, and she calls me one night. I'd met her on Craigslist, right? I met her on Craigslist. One night I was randomly surfing around and just kind of sending out messages, you know. And I ended up meeting her, and she is from actually the Washington area. So that's kind of how we started talking. And we end up like, you know, she's like, she tells me, she goes, I don't want to meet you. Right. But she tells me I don't want to meet you. So what does that say to me? Like personally, like, oh, I want to meet you more. Right. Because like now we're just like this whole hard to get thing. So then she calls me one night, like at 2 a.m. and she just goes like, hey, what are you doing right now? And I'm all like, I'm playing Call of Duty with my friends. She goes, do you want to go to the beach? And I'm like, I thought you said you don't want to meet me. She goes, that's true. I said that, but I just smoked crack and I need to get out of my house. Do you want to go to the beach? And I went, yeah, give me an address. Literally. And my friends are like, the fuck are you doing? And I'm all like, I kind of want to see where this goes.
Oh my God.
Because I was so intrigued about wanting to meet her. Right? I was so intrigued about wanting to meet her.
The crack didn't like, you know.
That didn't bother me. Because I've known a bunch of fucking meth heads. You know what I mean? Like a couple years earlier, I found like half my fucking friend groups were like fucking dabbling in meth. I'm like, crack seems like a step up. Or maybe a step down, depending. You know?
Oh
and so I pick her up at her apartment. And you know, she lives in a nice apartment complex and whatnot, right? Parents' money, apparently. And I take her down to the beach. It's like February 2008. And it's cold as fuck out, right? Mid-February. Take her down to La Jolla Shores. And we go out to the beach and she just runs into the water and stuff. And I'm bundled up like a motherfucker and everything else. And it was a fine experience. You know, and I was like, but it was such
experience hanging out with the crackheads.
Yeah, it was, you know what though? I mean, like, yeah, she didn't, I mean, I don't know how often she did crack, but like she at least was honest about her, you know, what she had done. You got to kind of give a little bit of credit there.
No, bro, I would never, like, my entire day, if somebody called me and was like, hey, you want to hang out and just smoke some crack, I'm gonna be like, nah, I'm good. Like, Matt's like, give me an address. And I'm like, Matt, what's wrong with you? There's something psychologically that needs to be explored in that head of yours where you thought that going out to spend time with a woman who literally just told you that she was on crack was like the smart decision to do. Because
yeah.
Like, what would have happened if she like was so fucked up on crack that she thought you did something to her when you didn't even touch her? Like, there's so many variables that made that whole story of the worst idea.
Yeah, I know, right? Let's be, I mean, that's again, I'm not going to disagree. But at the time, I was kind of in this mind space of like, you know, I was 25, about to turn 26. And this is true. So at the time, I was actually reading Kevin Smith had put out a book called My Boring Ass Life. And it was a daily diary for a year. And it was Kevin Smith, like in his own words, like, you know, him working on the movie like Catch and Release with Jennifer Garner. You know, him like going to Comic-Con and like introducing Tenacious D. And I remember that specific day because we had front row seats in Hall H, but one of my best friends was getting married. So I had to leave Hall H after Kevin Smith had done his thing and then travel over to my friend's wedding and missing Tenacious D perform for free, where all of my friends from Comic-Con were front row in Hall H watching Tenacious D. I had to miss that. But my friend got married and you know, it is what it is, right? You got priorities in life. Anyway, at the time I'm reading this book and like, it kind of spoke to me in a multitude of ways, right? I'm like, this is kind of interesting. This is 15 years ago today, by the way. I decided March 26th, 2008, I was going to keep a daily diary for a year, right? Keep an online blog for a year and just see what happens. And the reason why, so again, at that time, I kind of had this idea of like, when am I going to be here again? And is this a once in a lifetime experience? And I use that as a bit of a driving force for a lot of my decisions. And so throughout the course of this year, you know, from like, because I had just turned 26 when I started writing this, right? It was my golden year, you know, March 26th, I turned 26, right? So I write this whole book for a year. And in it, I work on I go shoot my very first movie in South Central for a week. I go and I go to the MTV, no, I go to the Spike Scream Awards. I'm on the red carpet of that. I went to the MTV Movie Awards as a seat filler. And then we were at Universal Studios in LA. The same night, friends of mine were getting married at a hotel in Universal Studios. We then left the MTV Movie Awards, went over to the hotel just to say hi and congratulations. And they needed videographers. So they asked us if we'd be willing to hang out for a couple hours and shoot their wedding, which we did. They provided us with food, cake, booze, everything we wanted, and then paid us like $200 each. You know? So, I mean, like, things like that, moments like that, where you just end up like having these experiences where you just think to your head, like, should I zig or should I zag? And which one is going to be the more interesting experience? You know?
So what Jarbo's saying is he had that experience that was clearly not the smartest thing to do, so he can tell the story to us in 2023.
Yeah, kind of. Yeah.
I'm gonna pray for you. You need Jesus.
Sure, you can pray for me all you want, man. That's fine. But I mean, it's like eventually I'll probably end up like releasing
The Snyder Cut?
releasing the blog. No, because the blog, it's hidden. It's still up, but it's just been taken down. You know, it's like it still exists in some capacity somewhere and everything else. But it's a year of my life, and it's a year that I really tried to do as much interesting shit as possible. And believe it or not,
where you met the crackhead at the beach.
that happened before.
Oh, so we won't get that story.
So that's also one of the reasons why I started writing it. I'm like, this kind of shit happens to me. I might as well catalog it, right?
I mean, yeah.
And you know, but the thing is though, it's like during this year, like but that's where I met my girlfriend. Her and I get together in the story, in this blog, right? And here's the thing: 15 years later, we're still together.
Oh, RJ's done playing video games. He wants like, no, RJ, you wanted to play video games. You want to play Resident Evil 6 with Hans, so you don't get a link, you little bitch.
Might as well.
No, I really was hoping you didn't.
Why?
Because RJ, like, every time RJ's here, you play that stupid fucking clip. And
I will not play that clip.
All right,
I will not play. I promise you that I will not play that clip.
I'm gonna hold you to that promise.
Yeah, Ralph Siblitzer says the Jarbo blog. Yeah, the blog. It's so funny. I make a reference to something in there, and you know, it's I'll. You know, I'll just say what it is. Fuck it. So in the blog, I reference conquering it pretty often without going into detail as to what it is. And then at the very end in the epilogue of the blog, I just write, P.S. conquering it means masturbation.
Well, okay.
What up, RJ?
Hello. What's up, everybody? Happy birthday, Matt. I have no clue what I just came into.
I was talking about this blog I kept for a year from March 26, 2008 to March 26, 2009.
Yeah, and you missed the story about him meeting a crackhead at the beach.
No, I didn't meet her at the beach. I picked her up at her apartment and I took her to the beach. No, she was not a crackhead. She happened to just be high on crack.
I'm pretty sure that's a crackhead, bro.
So you got a girl high on crack and took her to
No.
She was already high on the
She was already high on crack. And she calls me.
He just picked her up and took her to the beach because she called him and was like, "Hey, I just smoked some crack. Do you want to go to the beach?" And then Matt's response was like, "Well, I thought you didn't want to meet me." And she's like, "Yeah, but that was before I smoked the crack." So that's where the story started.
Did I miss all the topics? Because I was playing.
No, we haven't really gotten to
the only topic we got to is the Shazam 2 topic.
Oh, okay. Because like while I was playing, I was like before I came on, I was like skimming through. I saw you pulled up my Twitter.
Yeah,
I have no clue why.
Because I was giving you shit for that.
For what?
For the like, I hate negativity, but let me just respond negatively to these things as they're happening.
I mean, it's a GIF. I don't think I was being like a jerk about it. I'm not like saying it's like dead.
You're adding to it. You're den of nerdsing it. That's what you're doing.
RJ, you went from being like the most positive person about movies and stuff and enjoy talking to them. Now, like, you talk so much shit these days, and it's
Not
like,
really. Like, listen, like I told Matt this on Twitter. It's just like, it's bad if like I'm having to be like the realist in the situation, be like, yeah, it's not good right now.
no, RJ, that's not you. I'm sorry, you are not the friggin' like the patient zero.
I'm like the I'm like the litmus test for if things are really bad. Like not
No,
like
you're
not like quality wise, but in terms of like the situation.
RJ, you are not the friggin' test of if things are bad because you don't like it. Like you've been
No. I liked some of this stuff. I thought Shazam 2 was great. Its box office isn't very good though.
But Matt's point was like you are sometimes feeding into the negativity as well, and that's what he was saying. And you're like, no, I don't like RJ.
I don't
Everybody,
think so.
No, you don't think so, but everybody else is knows so.
Do you even watch movies?
Is that your RJ? If that
I mean,
is
listen.
your,
I mean, listen.
RJ, if that's your comeback, if that is your comeback to what I just said, you already lost the conversation.
Aren't you contributing to the negativity about Shazam's box office and see yourself refuse to go and see it?
What do you mean? If I don't like
well,
a movie,
you're not.
But
how do you know that you don't like it if you're not willing to see it?
Well, if I don't find it interesting to see, why would I go see something I don't have interest in?
So you're being negative.
That's not being negative. That's me not wanting to see.
By saying that you have no interest, it means that there's something unappealing to it. Therefore, you're being negative towards that product.
It's not being negative. If I'm not familiar with the character, I'm not a fan of the character. Why would I go see a movie about a character I have no idea and have no interest in seeing? That's not being negative.
Shouldn't you be open-minded and try to expand your horizons instead of staying in your bubble?
RJ, are you like moving the goalposts as we speak right now? Is that what you're doing? Because like, here's the thing: going to see a movie and then be negative about said movie and not finding much positivity, that's like a whole different thing. Me not going to see a movie,
but I'm not being negative.
It's not being negative. It's just me being negative. But me being negative is going to see the movie just to shit on that movie.
But I don't do that.
But you have done that. That's what I'm saying. Like you watch every movie. You watch like everything. Right?
The only negative thing I ever commented on was box office performance. That's very different from the actual.
But But here's the thing: Matt has already had the discussion where a box office performance doesn't dictate if a movie is good or not. It just dictates if a lot of people watch it.
When did I say it did?
But you just said it just now.
No, I didn't. I never said that.
You said you'll give a
box office. It just determines financial stability.
Matt, help me out here because I can't.
It doesn't actually. It's never a litmus for quality.
I don't even know what the fuck you guys are talking about. Like I did kind of tune out on that one.
She thinks I'm equating box office to quality. But I never.
But you really just did because you said the only time I'm being negative about a movie is I go by the box office.
No, I said the only time I've been negative as of recently is regards to box office and actually talking about the actual facts of a situation.
Okay, then.
It's not me being a jerk. It's not me being a jerk. Like I'm not being negative by saying, "Oh wow, this movie isn't doing very well."
RJ, you are basing a movie's like success based on you're basing if a movie's good based on how much it made in the box office.
Because that's the financial results that Hollywood looks at to determine what's.
But again, a movie in itself could be.
It's not the end all be all. Yes, of course.
But I'm saying
the end all be all. I'm just saying.
A movie can still be good and not do good in the box office. There have been many movies in history that have been really good, but in box office wasn't that great.
Of course, but when it comes to Shazam, it's just disappointing because it's a really good movie that I wish people would have went to go see. And it's just a shame that's brought in so much controversy in regards to the current stability of DC, as well as the main actor kind of, for some reason, turning people away. Not sure why. It just is what it is. And again, it's a good movie that deserved a lot better.
Right, but I'm saying like you use the thing like, oh, sad you didn't go see the movie. Isn't that you being negative? No, I didn't see the movie.
So you fell for my bait.
It wasn't bait.
It was absolutely bait.
Well, if it was bait, it was bad bait because again, it's not comparable to people who've seen the movie and are basically review bombing it. If you want to call it like that, people who've seen the movie are saying it's bad. Well, I'm saying if people are reviewing this movie, who've gone to see this movie and they're just shitting on it, right? Because they just like, I hate this movie, it's awful, and they're shitting on Zachary and all this stuff. And you're saying, well, I've seen it, it's a really good movie. Okay, that's not the same as somebody who just didn't go see the fucking movie. That was your weird comparison.
You're very confusing. I don't think
You're
you,
very
you actually.
confusing.
I don't think you actually listen to my words. I think you're like listening to what you want to hear from it, so you can yell at me. I mean, listen, that's your kink.
RJ,
That's
I don't
fine.
listen.
That's
I
your
don't
kink.
need
That's
it.
fine.
Listen,
If you
I
like,
don't
like,
What the fuck are you both babbling
I
about?
don't
Like,
need an excuse ever to have to yell at you. I can yell at you for anything. I can yell at you just for being here. I can yell at you for existing. Okay, I'm not yelling at you. I'm just saying you gave a bad comparison. Simple as that.
I don't think I did, but
You
it's
never
okay.
think you do anything.
I think, look, I think when it comes to the Shazam thing, you have people out there that have been actively trying to shit on the movie. You have a lot of headlines, but you have a
Not really. Like, listen, like, just because I'm like noticing the box office performance isn't me going, this movie's terrible and everyone who made it's a horrible person. That's not what I'm doing.
like, you're like the discussing film thing you responded to said that it had an 80% drop from Friday to Friday.
Which it did. Right? That's a fact.
It did. It's true. But then at the end, then you're like, it's Jover. It's like, dude, that's, you don't.
It's a meme. It's
how
a
about,
meme.
yeah, but memes indicate intent, and the intent is you're not really adding anything on that one. You could just choose to not say anything, to be fair. That being said, or respond back with the movie's pretty good, go see it if you want to engage positively with it. But then also the movie ended up only dropping 68% overall for the weekend, which is about on par for average anyway. So it's like, it's not
it's slightly higher than average. I mean, it wouldn't be listen, it's normal lately for superhero movies. It's just that the problem is that it didn't open big.
Sure. Yeah. If it, yeah, sure. That's absolutely fine. I do feel, again, like Shazam is something that a lot of people are just going to discover on HBO Max. I think that's where they discovered the first one. And I think that's where, again, the marketing, and look, there's been so many, like Zachary Levi has come out and he, you know, he said one thing and then the media ran with it. Let's be fair. Variety, Hollywood Reporter, Deadline, they all ran with it.
Well, everyone likes to.
Yeah, they ran with it, and then he gets like, okay, I gotta I gotta come out, and because look, the thing is, though, he is trying to backpedal a little bit on the whole Dwayne the Rock Johnson thing by saying like, no, I don't blame Dwayne. Well, no, actually, hold on, like
I do.
No. Well, okay. So like Dwayne thwarted the Justice Society cameo. That's true.
Which is a mistake.
Which is a mistake. He did. So he thwarted the Justice Society cameo. That's what Zachary Levi's pissed off about.
Quick question.
Yeah.
Quick question. How does The Rock get to have say over whether or not DC can use its own characters that they own?
Those iterations of those characters. So I'll give you a primary example. It boils down to the rights agreements for the specific production. So let's talk about Marvel and Spider-Man real quick, because this is kind of a fair comparison with this one. So Marvel and Spider-Man, they've got the Ash Eternal, $20. Thank you so much. Happy birthday. Thank you very much. Really, really, really appreciate that. Kick ass. Feel free also to keep the Saggy RJ saga going. I promised Saggy I wouldn't play that RJ clip, but if you got one in the chamber, hook a brother up.
I hope your comparison is better than RJ's, because that was just bad.
I don't think it was, but it's okay.
Hey, what's up? What's up, Andre? How you doing, buddy? But to go back to my point, though, But again, seriously, thank you, Ash. Really, really, really appreciate that. So Sony has the theatrical rights to Spider-Man, okay? And they've got the theatrical rights to the characters that have come out with their original films. However, the trilogy that they did with Marvel, they split the rights between some of those characters. And I should say some of the actors, what it is those actors portraying those specific roles. So, for example, Ned Leeds can only be in a Marvel production of a Spider-Man movie. Zendaya's MJ can only be in that, right? But Tom Holland can actually jump in between the different studio movies, provided they come to the agreement on that, because that's what they came up with. So like the version of Aunt May played by Marissa Tomei can only be in those movies, those Marvel productions, because Marvel Studios productions. So again, Sony is doing the distribution, and yeah, they are definitely co-producing the movie, but the co-production between those two studios is where the rights are. In this particular case, Black Adam had its iteration of Hawkman and Cyclone, and with Aldous Hodge and Quintessa Swindell, and they were trying to make it work, and The Rock came in 3 days beforehand and cut it. Now, if you got to remember, there was also supposed to be a post-credit scene. Actually, I do believe that the post-credit scene we got in Shazam was supposed to be in Black Adam, because the Shazam post-credit scene was supposed to have them inviting Shazam into the JSA, and Zachary Levi had made a comment about how they were supposed to film, or maybe they didn't film it for Black Adam, but they were going to try to find a way to bring both of them together.
Yeah, I think based on what Zachary Levi was saying is that the intention at one point was one of the, like, Black Adam's going to have multiple post-credit scenes with Superman, obviously, which is what The Rock wanted, but an additional one where it's about the Justice Society recruiting Shazam to join their ranks. And there's maybe a third post-credit scene idea where they're going to show who would become the new Dr. Fate, or like a tease of Dr. Fate returning. So there's like different post-credit scene ideas, but apparently the Shazam one was the one that got shut down. So
yeah, I'm just saying, it's like, so you can tell that The Rock definitely came on in and swung that mana around.
But here's the thing, what doesn't make sense to me. Why? Like, here's the thing, like, I understand if he wants to fight Superman, but like, why don't you like have Shazam as like a side thing with the JSA? How does that affect you?
Because he wanted a movie that if he had anything to do with Shazam, it would take away from Black Adam. He wanted to have all the
But you could work the movie in a way where like it doesn't. You can still make Black Adam the big honcho.
You're trying to argue logic and common sense to an egotistical freaking celebrity.
But I like The Rock.
Well, I don't anymore, because I'm starting to realize The Rock has a habit of trying to like usurp every franchise he's ever part of.
Well, are you talking about Fast and Furious? Because technically that wasn't his fault. I've heard Vin Diesel was kind of a diva, you know?
But again, I mean, but here's the thing. It was Vin Diesel's thing. Like, and if Rock is coming in trying to like do all this extra shit, I don't blame somebody for being like,
well,
you're
listen,
trying to take over my
Matt's
shit,
Matt's going to be mad at me for saying this, but at one point in time, again, at one point in time, back when Fast 5 came out, he did act as like steroids to that franchise to help elevate to the next level. Now, Fast 5 was a good movie on its own. I'm just saying that the presence of The Rock helped add to it.
Stop the cap.
No. Hold on. I'm not the only person. Hold on. Stop. Let me finish. I'm not the only person who thinks that. Even the people who are Fast and Furious fans think that adding The Rock in Fast 5 and telling the story that they did helped elevate the franchise. So I can understand The Rock coming in being like, hey, I helped you guys out with a big assist. Give me my spin-off. Let's do all this and that. I'm not saying he's right to feel that way. I'm just saying.
They didn't need The Rock. The Fast and Furious, when The Rock entered the Fast and Furious franchise, they didn't necessarily need him.
But Fast 5 was when the franchise elevated and got better. Because a lot of people came in.
Well, it was also a better movie.
That's what I'm saying. It was the quality of the movie.
In general, The
Rock too.
I'm just saying, like, I lived in LA when the movie came out. I worked for the theaters when that movie came out back in April of 2011. Okay. So I can say this. People in the area of the biz, so to speak, right? Maybe that's just, it's biased or whatever. There was an excitement for Fast 5. The Rock definitely was adding, like,
see, even Zachary in the chat. A lot of people are like that. They didn't like Fast and Furious until Fast 5 when The Rock joined.
No, but it's not. But it's not specifically. But think about Fast 5 as a movie, and remove the concept of The Rock. Okay, what was Fast 5 in a nutshell? It was a heist movie. It brought in characters from Tokyo Drift. It brought in characters from the Fast and the Furious. We got the introduction of, so Han came over to Fast 5. We got Giselle, so Gal Gadot came over from the Fast and Furious. We had the two guys from the opening of the Fast and the Furious, right? The two brothers that popped on in. They brought back Ludacris. They brought in Tyrese. Yeah, they brought in everybody.
You didn't need The Rock for that.
You gotta understand. It's like this is the thing. Is like, you're not looking at the fact that it's like fucking bringing in Luda and Tyrese from fucking Fast 2, bringing in Han from Tokyo Drift, even though he had dead. They brought back everybody, And then they made it a heist movie on top of that, where they're literally the two fucking tricked out cars are dragging a safe with like hundreds of millions of dollars through the streets of Rio de Janeiro, just tearing shit up. I mean, like that was the primary sell. The Rock being like your secondary antagonist, yeah, it helped out. But like it wasn't like people went to go see The Mummy Returns because of The Rock. The Rock, I do think, added to The Mummy Returns in regards to like bringing a wrestler over to that movie.
Well, he wasn't
right?
big by Mummy Returns, so that was like his first big acting role.
It was his, but again, and that led into the Scorpion King, which I love the Scorpion King.
Yeah, the Scorpion King was great.
It's a great movie, but it's like, again, it was kind of like The Mummy Returns had the ability to go, hey, we had the excellent movie The Mummy that came out a couple years prior. Now we got this one, and now they brought in Dwayne The Rock Johnson, and that's going to make that its thing. So it's like you can't sit there and go, because like I'll tell you, I saw Fast Five not because of Dwayne The Rock Johnson. I was like, oh cool, he's in the movie. But for me, it was like I was working my very first summer working at the drive-in is when the Fast and the Furious came out. I went to go see Fast 2, right, directed by John Singleton. I actually I did not watch Tokyo Drift until right before Fast 6 came out. I skipped it. Like, because it wasn't part of the main canonical timeline of the characters I liked. Paul Walker was also a big draw for a lot of those movies. It wasn't just Vin Diesel. Paul Walker was like the heart of that franchise.
Yeah.
And so that's a big factor there as well. And I know people out there, they want to defend like The Rock joining. The Rock didn't take anything away from the franchise. He did add to it. But like every other thing that he's done, it's not about elevating the franchise. It's about elevating him. And when it stops elevating him, he skips out. He skips out on that one, right? Because we can sit there and go, like, why did Fast 7 gross $1 billion? Paul Walker is what a lot of people say. The death of Paul Walker was a big factor. But not only that, James Wan made a really solid movie. And Dwayne The Rock Johnson is in that movie for less than 5 minutes.
Yep.
Less than 5 minutes. So if The Rock elevated the franchise, don't you think that Fast 7 would have not hit that amount if it didn't have the emotional core of one of the main first stars having died in real life, and this is like the final go? So there's a lot more to that story than just like one actor coming on in. Because again, just if you look at just the box office draw of this guy, his movies don't do more than 400 million on average. San Andreas is like the highest one. Was that 470? Right? His numbers are pretty contained within a very set parameter. And I thought Black Adam, dude, even before, I didn't think Black Adam was going to pull a bill, but I was saying I thought Black Adam was going to do at least 650. And I was surprised that it pulled in less than 4. Really surprised. But I think also at the time, everyone kept telling me, no, but The Rock. And it's like now all this shit, we know that he is more ego than he is man at this point.
I think it's also just the reality, which is a sad reality, is that for whatever reason right now, it's just the DC as a brand is just like, people are just like checked out. I don't know, like that's like a whole conversation we have at like another point, because then we have topics to get to, but like it's been really fascinating seeing like the state of things lately, because we're in such a weird time.
No, we are in a weird time. And I feel like Zachary Levi is kind of, just to kind of touch upon back on that one, like, I think Levi is at the point where he's like, look, he knows that losing that cameo hurt, because that hurt the potentiality of trying to bridge the two franchises together to show strength and solidarity and to give fans something to look forward to. And instead, Dwayne was like, I want Henry Cavill. And he went above and beyond to get Henry Cavill, and it just didn't do anything.
Which, I mean, listen, part of me understands that, because listen, I understand wanting to bring back Henry, especially because he's part of like your little team with your management. It just sucks that it ultimately didn't go anywhere.
Sure.
It's like you really put all your effort to try and like do something great for another actor and for the fans. What he truly, and I think he was doing.
He didn't do it for the
fans.
That
was for him. That was for him. That wasn't for the fans.
Again, let me clarify. He's doing something that he thought would be perceived as for the fans that would also benefit him. Yeah. I mean, listen, he was doing what he thought was best for business. And at the end of the day, it didn't make a difference, which is, it's sad. It's very sad.
Right, he wanted James Gunn's job. That's what he wanted.
Well, he wanted
No,
his
he didn't want to
brother. He wanted his ex-brother-in-law to have the job.
RJ, at the end of the day, like look at the interviews, look at the videos that The Rock put out before Black Adam, right? To hype up Black Adam. The man was basically talking like he was already in charge. Like when you were making videos, getting fans hyped, thinking like, oh hey, I'm gonna save the DC, we're gonna do that. Like he was talking like he already was hired. Like
I think a lot of that in part was because he knew he secured Cavill, and by having Superman, it's like, okay, we have a plan
secured
now.
Cavill for like 20 seconds.
No, but it's the promise of like, hey, we secured Cavill. We know we want to do more with this. Let's go. Like he's we already got our plan.
And in part of that too, I mean, to I guess be fair, is like, you know, they did tell Henry to announce that you're back. And
not for just the movie, for like the future. He literally said that if you watch Henry Cavill's video,
which I'm gonna be honest,
in the future
that seriously fucked things up. It's really
right,
fucked things
but that's
up
what I'm saying.
everybody.
Like the Rock made so many mistakes with this whole thing that he was trying to do that could have been avoided if he just did it in the smarter way. And everyone here has been like, yeah, if you did it in the way that a lot of people are saying you should have done it, the way that Zachary is basically saying they wanted it to be done, like he could have probably done better with Black Adam, you know, but he fought for the wrong superhero. He really went for bat for the wrong superhero. Like, bro, you're black fucking Adam. You're not Lex Luthor. You're not Brainiac. You're not Zod. You're not doing those movies. You're doing fucking Black Adam. So why don't you do like stuff with Shazam? Because Shazam already had a movie out there. You could have just jumped on that and connected, like Matt said, connected that world. But instead, you wanted to be selfish because I don't want to fight. I need the movie to be about Black Adam. We can't have Shazam because it needs to be the focus on Black Adam. Bro, you could have done that, started off with the cameo, and then done the movie to do the origin setup. Go back to the end of your movie to like build up to how your character ended up meeting up with Shazam. And boom, you could have made more money that way, dude. But instead, you're like, nope, Superman, we're gonna go straight for the big dogs. We're gonna skip the little leagues. And we're gonna go for the big leagues. Nope, and that's why you failed.
Well, and see, here's the thing with this though, right? Is Rational makes a good point. Mike DeLuca and Pam Abdi told Cavill to make the announcement. That's true. I mean, like without coming out 100% and saying that, I think we kind of know at this point that that's the case.
Saying, like everything got fucked up because I understand what DeLuca and Abdi were trying to do. There was no DC head yet. This movie was like they're trying to like bolster this movie to be the best it can possibly be and do the best it can. Things are just the whole like. I'll be honest, like the entire way the Henry Cavill thing got handled, it's very bad and damaging. Like it's gonna like take a second to like get over that. And I think we're kind of seeing the ramifications of that a little bit this year. Hope I'm wrong about that. I really do. I'm just,
Probably are.
Well, I mean, I don't know necessarily if it's going to be the whole notion of.
Well, also just general DC brand fatigue.
Yeah, well, I mean, DC itself, like I said, I don't believe there's a lot of brand fatigue if the content is consistent.
But Shazam was good though.
Shazam was really good, but
that's
again,
what I'm saying. Like it's a good movie, but no one showed up. Where are they? Where are the people?
Well, I mean, yeah, I went to go see it, and but it's going to be on PVOD in like 3 weeks.
Yeah, because they're rushing it. Because it's not doing.
Well, yeah, well, I mean, but again, though, but again, that might also be something that's a tactic that Universal's been doing.
Oh yeah, for sure.
And it's been working well for Universal.
But the difference is that the Universal movies are doing their smaller budgets.
Oh yeah. I mean, again, the budget of Shazam was 100 million. Both Shazams were 100 million. I think with reshoots or whatever, or at the end of it, I think Shazam Fury of the Gods ended up at 130.
Yeah, 125, 130.
Yeah. So, but I mean, like, and then of course, whatever there wasn't a lot for P&A.
It's only expected to make 165 worldwide. So it's like, ugh.
I'll say this. The Flash, the Flash might be.
I'm concerned.
No, I'm not concerned because again, I'm not concerned because everyone was so freaked out about Ezra Miller, and then the Flash trailer came out, and a lot of people were still a little upset with Ezra, like, oh, they're keeping Ezra, blah, blah, but I'm still gonna see the movie for Keaton. Okay, cool. So they made a good move having Keaton come back. Cool. A lot that movie's getting praise from everybody who's seen it.
Oh, I know,
but my thing is like this is the decider. Like all these movies, Shazam, Black Adam, they're just like placeholders for me. They're just like, hey, we're gonna give you something while you wait for Flash. I think Flash is basically going to be the decider to see if they actually can get the fans kind of back on, like, all right, DC's
Well,
doing
they're going to have to
something.
heavily rely on Keaton for that.
But here's the thing.
Correct.
Here's the thing, though,
Correct.
right? Here's my thing, right? They're trying so hard with pushing this as like with the CinemaCon thing, with the Tom Cruise thing, which I get, and they're gonna have to rely on Michael Keaton. My thing is, if we look at Shazam, they're very different characters, very different circumstances. Even if Flash is an amazing movie, it does not guarantee people are going to show up, and that's the scary thing. Because Shazam is a really good movie.
No, here's the thing. So here's the thing, right? Shazam is one of those characters that are like, it'll get people like not to like. I don't think Shazam is comparable to the Flash because again, first of all, the Flash trailer was shown at the Super Bowl. Okay. Oh, you know, a lot of people who watch Super Bowl aren't fucking DC nerds. Okay, so
I know.
Wait, people watch the Super Bowl?
But here's
I just watched the trailer online.
Let me finish my point, RJ. Is that a lot of people who saw the trailer during the Super Bowl, they're not hardcore DC fans, but they a lot of people back then they saw Michael Keaton's Batman. Okay, a lot of people still love Michael Keaton's Batman, right? So when they saw Michael Keaton, that alone got even people who are the general audience is excited for this movie. The general audience. That's the main thing that you have to understand is that these movies aren't hitting the general audience like Shazam. To be honest, I'm not surprised Shazam doesn't hit the general audience like it does because no one knows or really cares about Shazam when it comes to general audience. DC fans will care more because he's part of the DC, but the general audience needs to get their asses in those seats.
See, here's the thing with that.
For the Flash.
So here's the thing with that. I don't think Zachary Levi is done as Shazam. And I say that because James Gunn is really good at taking minor league characters and building them up. And I think having the post credit with the characters from Peacemaker is a better move overall than I think having the characters from JSA.
But do you make a Shazam 3?
Not right now.
Do you ever make a Shazam 3?
Well, I mean, no. And that's unfortunate because I think both Shazam films are very well done. I think they are a lot of fun. They are definite, like, you know, there's a lot of greatness in there. And I think that there's a lot of heart in there and a lot of love with those movies. And I was excited to see Shazam Fury of the Gods. I'm glad I saw it in theaters. I'm glad I saw the first one in theaters. You know, they're good movies. The problem, though, again, is like when it comes out, right? Because the first Shazam was sandwiched between Captain Marvel, you know, and fucking Endgame. Mm-hmm. And then this one came out and it wasn't sandwiched between anything major.
I mean, kinda. I mean,
Ant-Man and Guardians? I mean, like,
well,
sure.
No, we're talking just like not even superhero movies, man. I don't know what's going on, but like the box office this month's been crazy. Creed 3, Scream 6, John Wick Chapter 4. Next week, Dungeons and Dragons, and the following week, Super Mario.
Yeah,
it's all eating up at the audience, even if it's not a superhero movie.
No, and that might actually be leading to the fact that there might be, you know, when we talk about superhero fatigue,
which I think is actually starting to
I don't think. Well, here's the thing with that. I don't think it's fatigue. I don't think it's fatigue, but there's no FOMO. Right?
No,
there's no.
It's gone. It's gone.
The FOMO, because the FOMO is like, well, if I wait, it's going to be on Disney Plus in like 45 days.
It's killed it.
It really has. But I also understand why the streamers want to do that. Like, here's the thing is like certain movies, like what was it? Like Cocaine Bear. I saw it opening day. I didn't care for it, but I'm like, you know, it will be on PVOD very quickly and I'll check it out again then. I haven't done it yet, but I need to. Cause it's, you know, but it's like certain movies though, but like, I also like, what was it? Like Violent Night I saw in theaters, but I waited for VOD on
right.
Megan.
Right. But here's the crazy thing, right? You just mentioned Cocaine Bear and like all these other movies, right? Creed 3, Scream 6.
Yeah.
They probably have shortened PVOD windows too, but you know what's crazy? People are still going to the theater repeatedly to go see all of them, even when they're out in PVOD. Look at Megan, look at Cocaine Bear, look at Puss in Boots. Puss in Boots is still making a bunch of
money.
And
those are all Universal, by the way. Those are all Universal.
Oh, I know.
Like,
but here's the crazy thing. Why is it that people are, and again, totally different conversation we're getting into, but like I want to make a point about Flash real quick, which I think is going to be an issue for Flash. Flash is stacked in a very heavy month of June. there's a lot of movies coming out in June it has to compete with.
Well, it's not just before it; it's also after it.
After
as well.
it too, with Indiana Jones.
Indy for me is the movie of the summer. That's my movie of the summer. But I
for
know
a lot of people it is, yeah.
But I also know that you have the Flash, and then it's Transformers, and then it's Indy, isn't it? Like it's that.
Yeah, it's like back to
and,
back to back.
And Transformers is like, as much as I don't like the trailer, I'm
Rise
still
of
gonna go
the Beast has a lot of hype.
Rise of the here's the thing. Like I might talk shit about Rise of the Beast or whatever, but I'll acknowledge, fucking hands down, that trailer blew up. That trailer did gangbusters for Paramount.
Like people are like really looking forward to this new Transformers movie. Like there's like a legitimate.
I will go see it. I will go see it. I will go see it, and I'll see what's going on with it. Because like if it's got Optimus Prime, so I'm happy. It's got it's a Transformers. Who's the director of this one?
It's Stephen Caple Jr. who directed Creed 2.
Okay, how was Creed 2?
Really good.
Is it better than Creed 3?
I think the story in Creed 3. I think the story in Creed 3 is stronger, but I think directing wise, Stephen Caple Jr. did a really good job.
Yeah.
So.
Well, here's Real Talks here. It says Mission Impossible: Dead Reckoning Part 1 is going to be the movie of the summer. I'm hyped for that.
But again, like that's what I'm saying. Like, even if Flash is really good, is it going to hold very well? Because here's what I'm noticing when it comes to these superhero movies. Not only are they very front loaded, but they're not holding well during the weeks that follow whatsoever. Like, here's the thing that's crazy to me. Cocaine Bear, Megan, Puss in Boots, Scream 6, Creed 3, what came out last week, or John Wick Chapter 4. All of these movies are holding extremely well weekend to weekend.
But RJ,
the superhero movies, not the same. They're not doing well. They're like collapsing in the subsequent weekends.
But RJ, the superhero movies that are coming out right now aren't even the ones that people like usually rush to the theaters to see. Like we are not. We're instead of getting Batman or instead of getting Superman, we're getting Shazam. Instead of getting like Iron Man or not Iron Man because Iron Man's gone, but instead of getting like another good Marvel like #1 player in the game, we got Ant-Man. Like I mean,
here's how I'll push back on that though, Saggy.
But but hold on, before you even go further, I want to say this: like the Flash, because even people in chat when you said it the first time, they're like, the Flash is a much bigger name than Shazam.
Oh, I know. That's why I said
the Flash has the TV shows. The Flash has been in the Justice League animated shows. People know the Flash, so the movie is the name Flash is more hype for it because of the character it is. But like, I'm excited for it. I haven't seen a single friggin' movie in the theater since the fucking pandemic started. I'm going to see Flash in the theaters.
Well, we know why.
No, it's not about. Yeah, you're gonna say Ezra Miller. No, it's because I actually like the. No, it's not. I was gonna see it regardless because I like the Flash and Michael Keaton's in the fucking movie. So yeah, I'm going to go get my fucking ass out of the house and go see the Flash in theaters.
I mean, I will fully admit, like I'm looking forward to what the reactions at a CinemaCon are.
Yeah,
but
for sure.
I did want to bring this up though. Here's a list of what's coming out in June.
It's stacked.
So, well, here's the thing. So Friday, June 2nd is Across the Spider-Verse.
Mm-hmm.
Then a week later is Transformers.
And the next week, it's the new Pixar movie, Extraction 2 on Netflix, and The Flash.
Dude, not only that, but The Blackening. Holy shit. That's going to be, have you heard about that movie?
Is that the one from,
that's
South
the one.
Park Raiders?
No. This one is about a group of black people go to a house, whatever. They have to basically they get caught in having to play a game. Like they have to sacrifice somebody, and it's whoever is like the least. Like they have to sacrifice the most black person in the
what?
Yeah. You know what? Here, I'll bring up the trailer. You guys have got to.
What the fuck?
You gotta fucking see this trailer.
That fucking synopsis you're telling us.
I am not doing it right. I'm not doing it right. But I'm telling you, this motherfucking movie is gonna be crazy when it drops here. Here's the trailer.
Reunion about to crack. We got the whole crew back.
Really, bitch? A cabin in the woods.
Now let's get it all in perspective for all y'all enjoyment.
You still a slave to the white man?
Y'all gonna stop calling my wife the white man, all right?
Newness, here's the anthem. Put your hands up that you shoot with. Count your
What we
with.
do on Juneteenth.
Oh, hell no.
Where are you going?
Look for the fuse box. What kind of house is this?
No, thank you.
The blackening?
Whoa! Jim Crow Monopoly.
Shit probably runs on racism.
Pick a card and save Morgan.
What do you mean, save Morgan?
Refuse to play, and she dies.
I think we have to play the game. In your predicament, the black character is always the first to die. I will spare your lives if you sacrifice the person you deem the blackest.
The blackest?
Nobody should judge anybody in here, bro.
You have 2 minutes to decide.
Shanika, she say nigga the most.
Nigga!
See?
Wait.
Y'all can't pick me. I'm gay.
Oh, Clifton. Yeah,
I can prove I'm not the blackest.
prove it.
I've never seen Friday. I voted for Trump.
What?
Twice.
Playboy, your time's on.
Oh my god.
Need a plan.
I'm saying, don't you dare.
Don't say this dumb shit.
We have to split up.
Your time has run out. It's time to die.
There's a crazy person out here hunting us. You got Rosa Parks on your shirt, right? Would she be sitting down right now?
I mean, that's exactly what she did.
You could shut up.
Made you look. Made you look.
Why black women gotta save everyone all the damn time?
Made you look.
You'll stop playing.
I got a gun.
That's too DMX. What are you doing?
It's on Juneteenth.
That's gonna do very
No, it's not. It's not Juneteenth. It's June 16th.
I'm kidding. I'm kidding.
But
no, that's gonna do very well. That's gonna do well.
dude, that looks fucking great.
They're not releasing it on Black History Month?
Well, June.
It's
Well, hold
meant
on.
to be
It's
June.
June. Yeah, Juneteenth is June 19th. So
Or no,
what
I was
they?
kidding. I was making a joke.
I know,
Okay.
but that's on a Monday.
But
so.
again, adding to the point, now that I've seen that trailer, June is going to be very stacked. It's a
Yeah.
very busy month.
Right, but again, I think people are gonna go see the Flash. See
No, Saggy. I'm not saying people aren't going to see Flash. It's not my point. I'm talking about it's going to do great opening weekend, but can it sustain legs? Is it going to do well across the rest of the summer?
It's gonna make $1 billion.
I mean, look, the Flash up against fucking Elemental. I mean,
Pixar.
That's dude. Like that's. I don't get. Like one of these is gonna move. Like although I will be watching
No, it's
Extraction.
It's too late. Like Elemental's already started its marketing campaign. They can't move it. It's already secured. It's theatrical stuff. So
they could, dude. That doesn't. They can move it.
The only free week is June 23rd. It looks like.
I don't understand why they're not. Asteroid City, Tom Hanks, and Margot Robbie.
They could move the Pixar movie to that week.
Well, yeah, that's what I'm thinking. It's like because they don't want to move the Flash up because then it's going to be.
Although maybe not though, because Indiana Jones is also Disney. They might want to give it 2 weeks.
Yeah, maybe, and then no hard feelings.
Because Indiana Jones is going to dominate the rest of June.
I mean,
July.
Yeah, like I mean, at least Joyride. I don't know what this one is.
So basically, Flash has so it has 2 weekends to make as much money as possible.
Well, Friday, June 30th. You got Harold and the Purple Crayon, which the fuck. That book is. I've read that book a bunch to my kids. Then you've got, of course, Dial of Destiny, which is gonna be fascinating to see how that does. And then again, this is what's leading into the 4th of July weekend. So make no mistake, this is going to be big for 4th of July, right? Because that's coming out, even though it comes out 5 days beforehand.
It'll play that day too.
What's the July 4th is a Tuesday, which means Monday is going to be slammed. People are going to be taking a 4-day weekend, so they're going to be off Friday to Tuesday for the most part. And then of course you've got, Friday, July 7th, you got fucking Insidious.
And then the next week it's Mission Impossible, which that's going to be huge.
That's going to be big. And then after that, you got Barbie and Oppenheimer. They got that. Oh yeah, dude. They cloned Tyrone. Oh, I can't wait to watch that one.
On Netflix. Yeah,
that's going to be great. And then you've got Haunted Mansion popping up.
That's
after
what I'm
that.
saying, man. Can Flash play for more than 2 weeks? Where it's going to how much money can that movie realistically soak up in such a busy summer?
I mean, I'm thinking it's going to have to do well in the international market. Is really what I think it's at.
Because lately the international market hasn't been helping out too much. Again, Quantum Mania, Shazam. I know very different movies.
Sure, but I mean, but Batman. But it's Batman. It's Batman. It's Keaton's Batman. It's like
But here's the thing though. Do the overseas markets have the same level of nostalgia and appreciation for Michael Keaton as the domestic market does?
I don't know.
I don't think so. I don't think so.
I mean, the way I look at a lot of these movies is like, I honestly feel like a lot of these movies could be moved out of summer. You know what I mean? Like Barbie doesn't need to be it doesn't need to be a July release. It could easily be an August release, you know? Because Barbie's gonna fuck man, Barbie should be a March release because it should be playing in with the Women's History Month, right? Like play up these movies. Like The Blackening looks really funny, but it could do well in September and October, you know. But then again, if it's coming in from Ride Along and the director of Ride Along and Barbershop, both have done very well. Those movies have done very well, and then the co-writer of Girls Trip blew the fuck up when it came out.
Yeah.
Like that movie blew up. It unfortunately unleashed Tiffany Haddish on all of us. I'm not the biggest Tiffany Haddish fan, but you know, there's a lot. That movie looks really funny to me, but you know, I think it's going to be really good. And then you've got all the other stuff coming out over the summers. I have no idea. I mean, it's like, I know what I have guaranteed I'm going to go see, you know, is like obviously Across the Spider-Verse. And then it's going to be indie.
I'm just saying, man, people are like, listen, inflation's a real thing. People are going to pick and choose, you know?
Yeah, that's going to be fascinating to see how that plays out this summer because, I mean, well, okay, but then again, how many people, this is what I don't get also, like, you know, AMC has claimed that their AMC, whatever it's called,
A-list.
The A-list has become profitable for the company. And Regal has something very similar to that. I have the thing for Cinemark, but Cinemark probably has like the worst deal out of all of it. It's like $10. I get one free ticket a month versus like unlimited for 20 over at Regal, but I do get discounts on concessions, and all my tickets are $9. You know, so it's like there's benefits to it. Like I've had it for a couple of years now. I'm fine with it. You know, and everything.
I was going to mention some people in the chat are mentioning Blue Beetle. Warner Brothers Discovery starting the marketing campaign supposedly this week. They're going to have a trailer for Blue Beetle in front of the Super Mario Brothers movie. It's already been rated and all that stuff. Yeah, hopefully it's a really good first trailer because Mario is going to be huge. So,
yeah. What was it? I keep saying, and people are arguing. I kept saying Mario's going to do a bill.
I'll be honest. Looking at the rest of the year, I don't see a lot of billion-dollar grossers except for Mario. I think Mario might be like legitimately one of the only, besides Fast X, of course. I think those two might be the only billion-dollar grossers.
I mean, Fast X dropping in
May.
In May is an interesting thing because that comes out right around Labor Day. I think it's the Labor Day release. Memorial Day. Sorry, Memorial Day.
No, it's the week before.
The week before Memorial Day? Okay. Because I remember when Fast 6 came out, that
remember Memorial Day is The Little Mermaid.
Oh, God, wait for Disney Plus. That thing's going to crash and burn, dude. I'm telling you right now, Little Mermaid is going to underperform like a motherfucker.
I'll be honest. Disney's banking a lot on it. Again, Disney is in a lot of trouble at the moment. They really need Little Mermaid to be a hit. Like, people are talking like $1 billion for that movie. I don't see it.
Well, Aladdin did $1 billion. So here's the thing, though, right? Is the Memorial Day weekend? We like this is where there could be a grave miscalculation. Is Memorial Day for like the longest time, like at the drive-in, that was like it. That was the fucking Memorial Day was huge for us, and that was huge weekend across the board. We all hated Memorial Day,
right? But then that stopped.
And like I think it was like 2017 or whatever. It was like because you had what was one that came out like Solo open Memorial Day didn't perform very well. There was Pirates of the Caribbean in 2017 opened. Pirates 5 opened. Then that didn't perform. It performed okay, but it didn't do $1 billion like the On Stranger Tides did, and that kind of killed that. And then they did. What was 2019 was Aladdin, and that did $1 billion, but it was like, again, it was still, how do I say it? Like largely I think Will Smith was the draw for Aladdin.
Yeah. I mean, I think Aladdin making it $1 billion surprised everybody, to be honest. We'll see how Little Mermaid does. I'll be honest. I think the marketing's been very underwhelming, and I think putting the trailer at the Oscars was a bad choice, because I don't think it didn't materialize online with like a bunch of conversation or a lot of.
But the trailer still looked bad. Like,
in terms of what though? Like
in terms of visualization, I'm not talking about the actress, because like she looks fine. She looks fine.
She's the one getting the brunt of the criticism.
And that is unfortunate. Look, as much as I feel that in this instance, like I do feel like it's checking boxes. I do.
I think the actors are doing the best they can.
Yes, exactly. But
actors
are hired for jobs.
It's the directing and the visual effects are letting them down.
It does. Yeah, really. It's like that. It's kind of like, I'm sorry.
It's weird because it's Rob Marshall. I figured it'd be better with Rob Marshall.
It could be also the VFX crunch that's gone on as well.
Then why not delay the movie?
Well, they've already started their marketing campaign. They can't do it. No, but they should. They should probably do that. Again, like I feel that Disney, like I remember seeing Little Mermaid in theater when it came out back in the 80s and loved the movie. I fucking phenomenally love that movie. But when I look at this trailer, I'm like, Melissa McCarthy cackling as Ursula just doesn't have the same menacing.
I think Melissa McCarthy was miscast.
Well, I mean, to many people, they think this is a role she was meant to play. But
I'm not seeing it.
I looked at the trailer and I'm like, okay. Like Sebastian just looks like a cartoon, cartoon.
The animals look so bad.
We've only seen the backside of Flounder, but again, it's my biggest problem with that is if I had to, when I watched the trailer for fucking Little Mermaid, do you know what I'm reminded of? I'm reminded of 2 Disney films. Okay. And I'm reminding of how the live action interacted with the CG or the animated. I'm thinking of Mary Poppins and the scene when they go with the penguins. Mm-hmm. And then I'm also thinking of like Bed Knobs and Broomsticks.
Yeah.
And how there was a lot of like animation that was interacting with live action, right? And like how for the time, based upon the technology that we had, it was like, yeah, there's a little bit odd here, but they find a way to make it work. The directing was better. Zemeckis doing Who Framed Roger Rabbit and having animation interact with live action was pitch fucking perfect. Now, then again, don't get me wrong, Zemeckis has dropped off in recent years, unfortunately. But, like he still was able to tackle it back then. This just looks fake. This just looks fake. Like, did they shoot this in the volume?
Here's the thing, though. Like, some of the remakes are really bad. Like, The Lion King was just very soulless, lacked any heart or energy in the visuals. While they were stunning in a way, they just lacked any soul. But it still made $1.6 billion. So I don't know.
I don't know. I think Beyonce had a big part to do with that, to be fair. I fucking
maybe just also too just the power of The Lion King as a name, as a movie.
I think so. I really think so. But then again, do you hear anyone mention it 4 years later?
Fuck no.
Like, no, it's not even mentioned.
Nobody talks about it.
And that's kind of my thing when we talk about the commodity of movies, right? The commodity of films, like the value of a movie has gone down. The value of the story has gone down. What used to be, at least what I feel like, is like these attempts at crafting these experiences that were like, that would live on to an extent, have largely been, kind of just beaten down, because we don't talk about movies anymore from like, oh, remember this movie I saw a year ago was really good, I want to watch it a couple times. It's like, no, it's like, there's that red letter media meme of like consume product and then wait for next product, whatever that is. You know what I'm talking about? Have you seen that?
Yeah.
Right. And it's like, someone gave me I think it was Mr. Toker gave me shit about that the other day. And because I said, like, as much as I hated The Last Jedi, I still paid to see it a couple times. I took people with me and I bought the Blu-ray, So he's like, you're just a consumer. And I'm all like, well, yeah, probably. But it's Star Wars. I'm going to buy it regardless. That being said, it's just the value of what these movies are no longer really hold to what they should be. Right. Or maybe it's never been like that. I don't know. Again, RJ, you grew up in a different time than when Saggy and I grew up. When Saggy and I grew up, it was like, all we had was like the video store, VHSs, box art, whatever they maybe put in front of a movie to watch a trailer, when you had to fast forward through all the trailers in front of a movie you wanted to rent, or like you would have to just go to the video store and walk down the aisles to look to see what was interesting, or what your friends were watching. There was a lot more experimentation back then, I feel, of just like looking into a movie based purely on its marketing and giving it a shot. And I don't feel like we do much of that these days. You know, like we need these movies to like either like really hit the mark for everything or nothing. You know, I don't know. I mean,
that's what I'm saying, man. Like, and again, I'm not trying to, because I know we got other topics, but like, that's what I'm saying. Like, I just been in a weird fucking mood lately because just like, and this is why I made that tweet earlier. Just
menopause.
Well, no, that's what you're experiencing. I feel bad for you for that.
RJ, can you like not take my comments at you and just like reverse them like a Uno card, because it just doesn't work. But go on.
Well, most things in your body probably don't work, but it's okay.
Anyway. That was a good one. See, that was a good one. I'll give you that.
Okay. This is where things are just so weird lately for me. It's the state of things. The reason why I made that tweet is like things are just not operating like they used to. Like we're experiencing potential superhero fatigue. Like other genres are rising to the cream of the crop, and like everything else is like fucking sputtering. And then we have like the situation with Victoria Alonso and now Jonathan Majors. Feels like Marvel's imploding a little bit. There's the DC drama. There's the Star Wars situation with the movies, and supposedly low viewership of The Mandalorian. And like no one's talking about Bad Batch, even though it's really good. I wish people were watching it, but no one's talking about it. It's just
I think people are watching, but no one's talking about it because
but here's the thing: it's just like this isn't like, it's not normal. Like we've never experienced something like this before. It's just
I talked about this before. I talked about this before you got on. It's positivity does not move the needle in any fashion, right? It just doesn't.
I get that, but like it wasn't like this even a year, like 2 years ago. You know?
Well, I mean, and I think it was, but it was just a little bit different because there was still, I think there was still like 2 years ago we had the pandemic, so everyone was focused on that shit. But
yeah, I'm just saying, like it's just bizarre to me. What's going on, because I never thought I would like, and again, I'm not trying to rag on Ant-Man, but I'm just making a point of this. I never thought I'd see a day where a big Marvel movie not only failed financially the way this one did, but is now leading to turmoil within the actual company itself. Because we don't get headlines like this from Marvel. Okay, I expect this from DC back in like the 2016 to 2020 era. Okay, like I'm not expecting that from Marvel. And they got the Star Wars situation with the movies, and there's all the DC drama. It's just like it's so overwhelming and it's so taxing. It's just like you just want to be a fan and enjoy stuff, but like things around just make it very hard to, because we're in just such shaky waters. And the stuff I am getting most enjoyment from are from stuff like Scream, Creed, John Wick, Cocaine Bear, Megan. I just watched Puss in Boots the other night. Fantastic movie.
Wait, first time seeing Puss in Boots?
First time seeing it, yes.
Oh, bro. When you have kids, you watch movies like that. I've seen Puss in Boots like 20 times.
Yeah.
Not tired of it.
Yeah, I've been meaning to get around to Puss in Boots. Wow, Puss in Boots is such a good movie. It's so good. It's so good.
Who's your favorite, the fearless hero?
Yeah. No, what's like, again, Puss in Boots. I don't think that was a kid's movie. It didn't feel like a kid's movie. Like,
oh no, fucking death is insane in that movie.
Not even death, but like there's like some jokes and some, like they say like some cuss words too and stuff. It's just like,
oh yeah,
like
oh no, movie. It was. Well, that's the thing is if you go back and you watch the original Shrek, it was always edgier.
Yeah.
It was always meant to be alternative to Disney. That's why in the opening of Shrek 2, when they have the honeymoon montage, there's the scene where like the wave crashes on Shrek and Ariel lands on him and like, you know, is going to kiss him. And then Fiona throws Ariel to the sharks.
Yeah.
Literally. Like it was Jeffrey Katzenberg was basically fuck you, Michael Eisner, nonstop during those earlier films.
Oh, for sure.
And then Puss in Boots took that concept but it molded it in a way where it dealt with some really interesting themes. Like Goldie and the bears and that whole family dynamic.
Which was great.
It was awesome. Yeah. I mean, like, my favorite though, again, just big Jack Horner, fucking John Mulaney just nailed it in that role.
Oh yeah. But I'm just saying, man, we're just in such a weird time because, like, I feel like this year, it's not like the end all be all, of course not. But it's like we're seeing like the pendulum swing a bit to where I feel like the superhero genre is like on the downward turn. And it's not to say it can't recover. I think it can.
Well,
it's just this is just such a weird year.
I can pinpoint something that I think is really gonna make the difference here. People don't. It's not that people don't want. I think the idea here is that event films are what you need to have, because Marvel really did set the bar with Endgame and Infinity War.
But but not every movie can be like that, though. It wasn't like that before.
And that's true, and that's one of the reasons why it's like that's what kind of fucked them over, I think, because they go, okay, now we have to recalibrate. We're going to go back. We're going to have these singular movies, in the phase 4 and phase 5 and stuff as we start building up to whatever. Who knows where things are going to go now with this Jonathan Major stuff, which we will get to here in a few real quick. And I just find it to be fascinating that like you can tell that there is like a lack of interest in some of these non-event films.
But here's the problem though. Was Ant-Man in the marketing not advertised as a big event movie? Like this is like even paid me to be like, I didn't want to make a normal Ant-Man movie. I want to make a cream of the crop event film.
No, it's true. But the thing is though, Ant-Man is not a cream of the crop event character.
But the marketing told you this is like a big movie.
It tried but you needed somebody else to elevate that, right? Maybe they should have had Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson pop up in this one. Maybe that would have elevated it a little bit more. They would have, again, it's kind of like, what was one of the big draws of Spider-Man Homecoming? Tom Holland as Spider-Man was definitely a big one, but having RDJ be in that was also pretty big. Marvel knows that you have to spend the money to make the money. They get that. The thing with Ant-Man is like the other two had done well enough to warrant a sequel, and Peyton Reed had done enough with the company to warrant making the demand for having a big kickoff. But the problem with I love Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania. I had a blast watching it, and I think it will do very well on Disney Plus. I do. I think it'll be very well received on Disney Plus.
But is it the kind of movie you want to revisit?
You know what? Yeah, actually, in many ways, yes. Oh yeah, I'm looking forward to watching it again.
I saw it twice, and I'm good. I don't need.
Well, I mean, it's like I saw The Rise of Skywalker 3 times within the first couple weeks of it coming out, right? And I haven't revisited it since, and I'm okay with that. Sometimes I'm not saying you need to always go back and rewatch. I mean, again, that's what I'm talking about. The commodity of these movies. Maybe it was just because when we were younger and movies, I don't want to say movies were scarcer, but watching them at home was, because back when video stores first blew up with Blockbuster and they had all the mom and pop shops, when I was talking about Waxworks in the last Podio commentary, the movie had a $3 million budget. And it did really, really well on home video because it sold how much an old VHS tape used to cost per tape?
Like 60, 70?
100.
Oh.
That's how much that is how much video stores would pay for each copy. And then they'd have to rent it out enough times in order to make that profit back, right?
Mm.
And so that's what they would do. And so in the stuff with Waxwork is it did well enough VHS wise to warrant making another one. And that one also did well on home video, even though it didn't do very well theatrically. And that is one of the things that did push DVD in the home video market is because of all of the money coming in that they could take those risks. Streaming now has kind of killed that. And so it's a little bit different. That's why we're seeing all these problems with Netflix and Disney losing these millions of subscribers and their market loss of billions of dollars.
Yeah, the streaming bubbles bursting a bit.
It could almost even go back to streamers could effectively die or just become cable, which is what they're trying to do.
Scarier reality if they just become cable.
And they're trying to. They're actually trying to. If you look at the ad-based tier on Netflix is actually growing. People are taking,
and that's the crazy thing because streaming was meant to be the alternative to cable, and now this is the cable model is actually better. Let's just implement the cable model into this.
Well, here's the thing with that, Calvin Jr. The VHS cost $19 to $30 back in the 90s. It did drop in price as home video started selling to people, but that wasn't every movie. Video stores still bought in bulk. One of my favorite things though is look up Redbox. And the fight Redbox went to with I think it was Warner Brothers. because Redbox used to purchase at the wholesale price, like of like what Hollywood Video and Blockbuster would get. And then like, but because of the model of Redbox, Warner's was like, fuck you. And they basically stopped. They told them, we're not going to sell it to you guys at the wholesale price. You guys got to pay full total MSRP. And so like, or wait 20 some odd days or some shit like that. It was a whole thing. Like the industry has been trying to play catch up with itself for years. And now, I mean, with everything being digital, it's just like, you know, I don't even know. I don't even know. I don't know where anything's going to go in the next couple of years.
That's what I'm
I
saying.
can't see it.
We are in such weird times right now. And the other thing is too, that I'm like thinking about is God, this is a horrible time for DC to reboot. It's either going to be a really horrible time for DC and James Gunn to reboot, or it's going to be perfect timing. Because I say that because if James Gunn can revitalize potentially DC and the superhero marketplace with Superman Legacy, we could see the pendulum swing pretty hard to the DC corner. But I'm not trying to be hyperbolic when I say this, but I truly believe the three most important movies coming out in the next couple years are going to be Guardians 3 and Spider-Verse for this year to really test how the market's doing with superhero movies. I want to see how Joker 2 does. And more importantly, they have to nail Superman Legacy. That movie, I think, is so much more important than people realize, not just for DC's future, but I think for DC and superhero, the genre as a whole. I really do. Because that's going to say a lot about DC's future prospects and where we're at with this genre.
Well,
if that movie can't connect, then my God.
I think what we're going to see here is we're going to end up seeing there is going to be a shift. I think the shifting is going to be like, if it was me, if I was in the position, what I would do is I would find a hybrid of both, right? So having movies go to streaming, being streamer only movies or whatever, I think is kind of pointless, if you want my honest opinion.
They got to figure something out with the streaming thing, because whatever they thought it was going to be is like, I think it reached its peak during the pandemic for obvious reasons. People were at home. Now people want to go out again, and they actually want to go back to theatrical experiences. Now it's like, because let's be fair, streaming's not dying per se. It has a place, because there's still big shows and big hits. The issue is that in terms of making money, it's not really financially viable, because the thing is it's like you have to spend money to make money. But at what point, like once you reach your subscriber peak, like, and it just plateaus, how do you keep making money? You really can't, unless you like do like a cable model and do ads, but then that might turn people away.
It's really about like the I think a lot of it is also like their stock value is really a big part of that. Because any flux in the market like will just kind of like hurt them. You'll hear about that with Netflix and whatever. But I don't know. I'm not really like, I don't know. I'm not a financial guy, to be honest with you. I don't know. If it were me, I would sit there and go, okay. I would look at like, as, there was a comment that, I think it was Real Talks here had made about Apple. Yeah. Okay. Apple and Amazon are investing $1 billion into feature films beginning next year. I don't know about Amazon. Well, no, they will definitely with the MGM side of things, right? But Apple definitely said that they're going to be investing $1 billion into getting films into theaters. And so I would say, okay, I would look at everything I have that's an upcoming slate, and you start scaling it back a little bit. Have maybe, you don't Netflix, the biggest problem Netflix has is curation. Like the blank check days are over. They're trying to figure it out now. But having some of those movies go theatrical would be fine. To have a wide release, make that money, and then put them on the streamer within 45 days. People will go and check it out because there's still going to be a FOMO if the movie's good. If the movie isn't good, then it will just, be fine on the streamer or whatever. But they have got to start making that thing a priority, and I think Hollywood has always kind of been in this weird. Hollywood isn't a bubble, and they've got access to all these analytics and all these data points. But I feel like sometimes that gets lost. You know what I mean? Like it's like there's like a gut some people have like the they think with their gut and like it's being replaced with like computer programs that aren't going to like understand that trends could change. I don't know. It's we've been on for goddamn near 3 hours and haven't even touched on the main topic yet.
Yeah, I was gonna say I'll let y'all get to it. It's just I was just in a weird mood and just kind of just came in talking about some random shit.
No, it's fine. It's the conversations are always some of the best parts of the show.
Oh, I know.
Which I enjoy doing. I think for me, I want to see them take more risks on stuff. Like I miss, I miss when they would do more filmmaker driven stuff instead of just having these check boxes IPs. And it's like my interest in these big movies, like, I'm going to see The Flash because it looks interesting.
I'm more excited for John Wick.
I mean, I want to see John Wick Chapter 4. I'm going to go see it this week when I'm feeling better. And then I look at something like Indiana Jones definitely has my attention. But like Fast 9 or Fast 10, I haven't seen Fast 9 yet.
I haven't seen Fast 8 or 9. So.
Fast 8 was solid. Fast 8 was good. I liked Fast 8 quite a bit. It's definitely over the top, but it's still fun. And so there's just a lot going on with these movies now where I'm like, okay, well, how much do I want to watch these movies, or how much do I want to go watch things I haven't seen like in 20 years, or how movies I watched when I was a teenager, watching them now as adults and see if there's anything different there. I'm more interested in like either the littler films that are coming out because I feel like there's more like, I don't want to say passion behind them because these bigger movies, they have passion behind them, but it's also part of it too, is just the corporate structure of it is what I think is really taking away.
It might just be that what we're seeing is like not all big budget movies, because there are some exceptions to this, but I think we're just noticing a lack of heart potentially. Like there's passion, but like where's the heart, the soul? I don't know. It's just something interesting to think about.
Yeah, no, it really is. It really is.
But all right, I will let y'all get going because it's like 2 a.m. for me. I am super tired, and I'm playing Resident Evil 4 tomorrow. So I'll let y'all wrap.
Wait, what time? Because I'm also playing it tomorrow.
Why does it matter what time? It's whenever the package gets delivered in the mailbox.
Oh, you didn't get it yet?
No,
so it's whenever the package gets delivered and then the update gets downloaded.
Yes, so I'm gonna guess probably around like noon tomorrow my time.
Oh, well, I got the digital deluxe edition because I'm fancy.
Yeah, because you had your Sims get it for you, I know.
That shit wasn't. First of all, it was a friend. I have friends. If that's the case, you're also a Sim, because we won't talk about how much you spent on Fortnite for your friend Saggy, but whatever.
Oh, RJ, yeah, we don't even want to go down that fight. How many skins did you buy her?
2, 3?
No,
wasn't that much.
Listen.
Oh, guys, you guys have no idea.
You can't call nobody a simp. If I have friends,
that's just again. Like I just had it there. So
I have friends. I have friends, RJ, and you are one of them. So
you're one of my friends. But you don't get me games. The hell's up with that?
What are you talking about?
You don't buy me games,
RJ. We had this discussion. Okay, real quick before you go, we had this discussion. Okay. Where you wanted this game so bad, but like you have a PlayStation 5, an Xbox Series, and you have a Switch. You have 3 gaming consoles, and I'm sitting there like, if you want a game so bad, why don't you just sell one of those consoles? Well,
why the fuck would I get rid of a console?
Well, why would you have to?
I have to keep my PS5 for Final Fantasy 16, Spider-Man 2.
RJ, hold on, wait.
I gotta keep the Switch for Zelda.
Hold on. First of all, aside from a Switch, I have no issues with people owning a Switch and like a PlayStation or Xbox, but like 90% of the games that are released on Xbox and PlayStation, they release them for both consoles. There's not many games that are exclusive to PlayStation or Xbox anymore. Nintendo has exclusive games because it's Nintendo. They still have Mario. You will never find Mario on PlayStation or Xbox. But all the games lately that come out for both PlayStation and Xbox, you have no excuse for having both of them.
I actually do have an excuse for it. Backwards compatibility on the Xbox is a lot better than PS5. Plus, I get access to Game Pass and other services.
But here's the thing, RJ. You know why that doesn't matter anymore? Because now they're releasing those old school games on the new systems.
Not all of them, though.
No, not all of them, but they are getting there.
I can't play my old Lego games on PlayStation.
Bro, but my point is they are releasing all the old Lego games. I can get the old Harry Potter games, Lego games now. I have the Harry Potter games, all three of them.
That's the remaster. They don't have Lego Pirates of the Caribbean. They don't have Lego the complete
Right, but
saga.
I'm saying they're getting there, RJ. They're getting there. They're releasing all those.
It's taking them too long. It's taking too long. Anyway, Rational, I will play Resident Evil Revelations probably after I beat Resident Evil 5 with Hans. So, and gaming PCs are very expensive. My next big purchase I'd like to make within the next couple of years is I'd like to get a Steam Deck. So one day I'll get a Steam Deck. But that's a dream. So
like the one device that will kill the Switch.
Well, the Switch, no, because it doesn't play Mario games.
It's a computer. You can get emulators.
You can emulate.
Okay, I don't know how to work computers very well, so no.
But yet you want a Steam Deck.
It's basically just a console.
RJ, it's a computer.
It's basically a Steam console.
Computer.
It's a handheld Steam console.
RJ, it's a handheld computer.
It doesn't have software like a computer. I can't go on the Steam Deck and pull up Microsoft Word or a
yes,
browser.
you can, RJ. It's literally a fucking computer in a handheld phone.
I don't think so, but
RJ, it literally runs computer software in it. That's why everyone was like hyped for it because that's. Oh my god, I'm gonna slap you.
Okay, so you're saying if I buy a Steam Deck, I can load up a browser and watch YouTube or go on make a Word document?
Hold on. You literally just said, I don't know computers like that. I don't know how to work a computer like that because Matt was like, well, you could do emulators. RJ was like, I don't know how to use computers like that. Now you're arguing with me about what the computer handheld can do.
It's not a computer handheld.
Matt, help me out, please.
It's not a computer.
Matt, I'm tagging out. I'm tapping out. Tapping out. Like
it's not a computer.
Yes, RJ, it's being
RJ, it still has to run off of Windows.
No, it doesn't. It runs off of Steam.
RJ,
it's like an OS. The operating system is Steam.
Okay, fine. So the operating system is still using Steam, which still connects to their servers in order to download these games, and then still contains the RAM, the graphics card,
that's how consoles
the
work
processor.
That's how
I know. Interesting, isn't it? How these things end up technically being just computers that you can plug into a TV, but they're just called something different.
You can
it's
plug
literally
Steam Deck into a TV.
Yes.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, you can plug the Steam Deck into a TV. Yes.
Okay. Again, it doesn't mean you can make a type of paper up on the Steam Deck though.
Here's the thing. I can play PC only games on a Steam Deck.
Yeah, because it runs through Steam.
Yeah.
If it's on the Steam digital platform, it'll work.
No. What? Oh my god. RJ.
Okay,
oh
there
my
are some games that are
RJ. You still need. There are still requirements that are needed in order to
run because it has
games.
the RAM and the gigabytes and the gigahertz or whatever. Yeah.
So go to bed.
It's not a PC. Does it have a keyboard? Does it have a mouse?
Yes, RJ. Oh my god, RJ, stop.
Does it have a disk drive? No.
The computers these days don't have disk drives.
Listen,
what are you talking about?
RJ, I just Googled can a Steam Deck
a console.
RJ, can a Steam Deck do what a computer can do? In the Steam Deck's desktop environment, you will find everything you need to use the system like a PC. Go to bed. Go to bed.
Why would it have a desktop mode?
RJ, it's a handheld fucking computer. Oh my god.
Steam powered.
That's what the iOS, isn't it?
RJ, but RJ, it's literally a handheld PC, bro. It literally does everything that you can do on your laptop. That's literally the whole thing with the Steam Deck, dude. It's a handheld fucking computer. You can literally do everything. You can do fucking video editing. You can do image editing. You can surf the internet. You can watch YouTube. You can stream on fucking any fucking thing. You can make your fucking YouTube content. You can use StreamYard on the fucking Steam Deck. It is a computer.
I would love to see you try. Yeah, go ahead.
RJ, just I literally Googled it. It
Deck.
literally says the Steam Deck can do everything a PC can do. It is a computer.
Okay, if you say so. I think it's just a handheld.
Oh, why do you argue with facts? Google it, bro. Just look it up. I literally just read the Google. I'm gonna slap you. I think you're trolling me. You're fucking trolling me tonight. You're trying to trigger me.
I don't think he's trolling. I don't think he's trolling.
RJ, it's a computer. It's a handheld computer. That's the whole selling point of the Steam Deck.
If it don't have a keyboard, a mouse.
RJ, it plays PC games in the same fucking frame rate as a fucking PC. That's the whole point.
Yeah, some of my consoles, the consoles can run games on
RJ,
the same frame rate.
RJ, it's a handheld PC. It's a handheld PC. Please look. Please,
isn't a handheld PC just a laptop?
If you are gonna save your money to buy the Steam Deck,
isn't a handheld PC just a laptop then?
Oh my
God. There's differences between like a laptop, a mini PC, a handheld PC. There are many handheld PCs that are out there. Review Tech USA plays on them quite a bit, talks about them quite a bit. There are. I don't know if you are trolling. You're doing a great job to trigger
you are
her.
definitely
trolling. Thank you.
I think he's saying he's trolling now because he's like.
No, I was trolling the whole time.
I think even the chat wants to kill you. Like that is how much.
I know. I can play dumb very well. I'm very.
I don't think you were playing though.
I was.
I don't think you were playing.
Ralph Sibletister says, "Jesus, kick RJ and start the main."
No,
topic.
I'm leaving.
Yeah,
okay,
I gotta.
RJ.
All right,
go to bed.
Bye, guys. Happy birthday, Matt.
Thank you very much. I don't think he was trolling.
I don't think he was.
I don't think
man.
he was trolling.
I'm telling you, because
I think
he
like
was dead ass serious, bro.
He was dead ass. It was deadpan ass serious on that one. I thought it was like, no, it's steam powered. If he was trolling, good on RJ. A couple supers here I need to get to. We've been talking for a while, so I'm very sorry. All right, so command unit here, AI being a sassy child. We'll watch that one here before the end. Thank you. Calvin here says, happy birthday, Matt. Puss in Boots. Like Puss in Boots, you'll love Rocky if you ever watch it. Also, have you ever seen the mermaids in Gilman's trailer? I don't know what Gilman's is. And I do need to watch Rocky. It is right here next to me. You know, once I get an Xbox Series X, it'll be a lot easier for me just because I can tuck it away and like use the disc. I have the Series S right now, and I play on that, and that's why I like digital more than the physical in the moment, just because it's easily accessible and everything. But like for the, otherwise I have to hook up my Xbox One, and I can't find the controller for that at the moment. So I gotta, it's a problem. But I did see an Xbox Series X in the wild. I saw the very first one I've ever seen in the wild the other day at Walmart. And I was like, wow. It was like a unicorn saggy. I was like, oh my God. I've never seen, I'll get one eventually. But or I should maybe just buy a 4K player, one of the two.
Just get a PlayStation 5. I hate the Xbox.
No, fuck no. I will not.
We're not going to get into it. We got to get to
not.
3 hours. We got to get into it.
I
we
know.
Can argue.
I know.
You and I are going to have an Xbox PlayStation debate.
I know. It's not the debate. It's not a debate of the quality of the system. It's not a debate. I love the Xbox Series S. I think it's a fantastic little thing. I love Xbox. I do. I think the Games Pass is amazing. There are some exclusives on the PS5 that I absolutely want to get. It is the size of that fucking gaudy monstrosity that is the PS5 that I can't stand. It is that system to me is so fucking ugly. I do not want it in my house.
The fucking Xbox Series looks like a fucking internet modem. What are you talking about?
Yeah, and you know what that is? It's ergonomic.
It doesn't look like a console.
It doesn't have to look. Consoles don't need to look like they're a fucking space age George Foreman grill, which is what this. It really emanates the original PlayStation 3 design. Okay, it's just it doesn't need to be as long as it is. It doesn't need to be like as gaudy as it is, the Xbox is fine. It's a box. It plays what I fucking need it to play. I'm not trying to fuck the goddamn system.
We're talking about Xbox and PlayStation. So calm your nutsack.
Yeah, I don't give a fuck about PC gaming, man. I'm on my PC all the fucking time.
PC gaming. What the hell is this? A PC gaming channel? The fucking crap.
No, this is the PS5 and the Xbox Series X are not the same size.
They're definitely not. No,
they're not the same size.
The PlayStation 5 is definitely bigger. I'm waiting for the Slim to come out.
That's the thing. I want the PS5 Slim, and I'll get the digital version of that, and that it's something that's smaller, but it's just like the size of the PS5. I do not like it.
The PS5 is like way bigger than I expected. I'm like, why did you guys make it look like this? Because I had a PS4 before I got the PS5, and I'm like, this is a little interesting design, but it still doesn't look like, my internet modem. So like, I won't get.
Who fucking cares? Does your modem work?
Listen, sometimes.
Do you get internet?
Sometimes.
Do you get internet? I mean, are you looking at that thing like, oh yeah, like who gives a fuck? Right? Like a DVD player is a flat box. You put a fucking disc in. You don't give a shit how aesthetically pleasing it is. A PlayStation 5 looks like they were like, this is what like some single person in Japan's a unit needs. Basically, it's like, that's what it's so dumb. Like the PS4 looked like a fucking rhombus, but you know what? It worked. It fit. It fucking fit underneath the TV. This is just, anyway.
Hold on. Okay, anyway, can we just agree, all right, that when both the PlayStation 5 and Xbox Series were launched, that they probably didn't launch without having many hyped up exclusives for the games, because there really was nothing exciting to rush out and get them, but yeah.
I mean, yeah, like I said, I was all PS4 for that entire generation. I love the PS4 ecosystem. I think it's great. I all that jazz. I want a PS5, but I just want it to be a slimmer model because I just do not like the design of the system. And I've been very, very, very consistent about that. Every time I go to fucking Walmart and I see it, they have one on display and I look at it, I'm like, ugh. Like I just nothing about it. Like the more I look at it, the more I dislike it. It's weird. Whereas I'm like, you know what? The little console can fit right there in my little entertainment center. It fits just fine. I can sit in bed and I can play, and that's what I care about. But that's the reason why I don't do PC gaming is because, look, I work on a PC. That's half my fucking day is on a PC. I also don't want to turn it into like where I play my games and where I get my entertainment. Like I want to sit in bed and relax and play. Speaking of that, I actually... Look at these console plebs arguing. Yeah.
Did you just realize what you just said, Matt? I'd rather be in my bed and play. You pervert.
What?
You pervert.
What are you talking about?
Yeah, I'm sure you would want to be in your bed and play.
I want to be in my bed and play video games. I also am in my bed for other adult reasons. I don't know. The two are not connected, Saggy.
No, they are. You weren't.
Not really. No, I was talking about playing the game. You were just digging for something that's not there. I'm legitimately talking about sitting in bed and playing a video game. And you're like, you just want to watch really poor masturbate. I'm like, that's not, I mean, I would admit to that.
Anyways, Jonathan Majors.
Well, there's a couple supers that we still have to get to. All right. So let's see. All right. This is here. It says, thank you, buddy. Like the great Yogurt said in Spaceballs, merchandising is where the real money is made. That is so true. Talking about Netflix and stuff. Rational here says, RJ, get a gaming PC. You can emulate the Switch and all Xbox and PS5 exclusives come to PC, and PC has Games Pass. I mean, there is a lot of a reason to get a PC that can do that stuff because PS exclusives are coming to PC and PC does have Games Pass. As soon as they find a way to turn that into something I can plug into my TV with ease and play, we'll talk. That's where I'm at. And then Ryan, I think I did not click your super chat. I don't know why I didn't. Let me go back and find it. I did see you post it. I thought I had started to bring it back up. I apologize, buddy. Hold on here. I'm scrolling back. Wow, it's up here. You guys, a lot of you guys are in here chit-chatting. Oh, there we go. Okay, there we go. Ryan here says, how does it feel to be vindicated about Blue Beetle, Saggy?
Feels really good. Feels amazing.
What were
I was
you...
also somewhat vindicated with the Jar Jar Binks theory too, a little bit.
I still haven't got to that episode yet.
No. So
I already know about it.
Well, so the Blue Beetle thing was when I used to joke about Blue Beetle saving the DCU, and they're gonna make a movie and stuff, and then a few months later they're like, yeah, we're doing a Blue Beetle movie, and I was like, oh shit, I was right. I was right. They were making a movie. I had no clue. I was actually joking about it, and then all of a sudden, I also got right who they would cast to be the main character. I was like, they're probably gonna get the kid from Cobra Kai who plays Miguel. It's good guesses, man. I sometimes have really good guesses. I should be a scooper.
You probably could. It's kind of all up for everything these days.
Yeah, all you gotta do is make good predictions and hope that shit sticks, and then you're a scooper.
Yeah, or just double down on it.
Yeah, guys, I didn't say that. I said I heard a rumor. It was a rumor, guys.
Yeah, it was a rumor.
Rumor.
Let me see here. Okay,
I'm not a liar. It's just all rumors. You guys don't know English.
Yeah, you guys don't know English, motherfucker.
English, motherfucker, do you speak it? Yes, apparently still Abdul does.
Oh, man, there's some stuff that apparently is coming out of his member stream tonight that we were hearing about. That's just some of the shit Mikey was saying. We're waiting for some of the clips to surface. We'll see if it happens. Let's see here. Command unit here says you can connect your PC to your TV like a console. No, you can. You can. But what I'm really referring to is like having, like a mini PC that can like run. You have everything you need. It's moderately priced, and then you plug it in with the console. You have your controller.
You can't consider a PC a gaming console because a PC does more than just gaming.
Yeah, I mean, that's true. It does. It's like these are like dedicated things. It's like, again, I just like to, there are ways to do it if I put the investment into it. And the thing is, though, consoles make it easy. It's plug and play. I don't have to think about it. It's optimized for the system that they have. Not like, ooh, do I need to go and change the settings in order to be able to run this on my rig? If my rig is a couple years old, sure, I can invest the money into upgrading those specific parts. But again, I just like to sit down and fucking play. I don't want to think about it. The problem with PC gaming is I got to fucking think about it. More often than not, I got to think about it. I got, ooh, can my system run this? I mean, one of the jokes of that was like they did Crysis, I think it was Crysis 3 on the Xbox. And like the very first achievement you get is like is making fun of the fact that Crysis is on Xbox or on consoles. Like it can run this. Because that was the thing for a while is that consoles can't run Crysis because of how advanced graphically Crysis is. It's a whole thing. It's stupid. Anyway, thank you though. This is here for Fiverr. Says, I used to repair computers as a mine. Wait, are used to repair computers as a minor text? It's clear you guys don't understand how computers work. I
understand how computers work. That's why I was telling RJ that, yes, a Steam Deck is basically a computer that's a handheld. It is.
Plushy here says, I thought Matt was against piracy. I mean,
he's a pirate. What do you mean? Of course.
Buy it first and then get it however you can. Anyway, I'm sorry. I have to just give you a little bit of shit here. You guys don't understand how computers work, says the guy that says, are used to repair computers as minor text.
Oh, that's mean.
I think it's text to speech. So, or I'm just giving you a hard time. I know how computers work. I just know what I like. Hero Journalism says, I'm watching this now on my TV through my PC. Well, thanks a lot, Jason.
Yeah, good job, Jason.
Let's see. Taylor says here, tell PS4 owners that Cyberpunk just worked out of the box. It didn't work on anything just out of the box. Let's be fair. Okay. Let's be fair. It didn't work on everything out of the box. And I know because I fucking paid for it. I bought Cyberpunk on both PS4 and Xbox Series X or S. So I've bought it twice now. And but I beat it on the Xbox. I loved Cyberpunk. I thought it was great. Yeah. Oh, he says I'm fucking dyslexic. So am I. I feel your pain. Let's see. Command Unit here says you can just use Steam Big Picture mode and use a controller. PC specs are not that different from console generations. Now, no, look, here's the thing. PC specs are not that different from console generations, but PC evolves at a much more rapid rate. What I'm talking about is like RAM usage, as well as like processor, frame rate, things along those lines. You can do a lot more modifications on PC, but eventually it's like still a console is like locked into its specific graphical settings and the developers work within that. Here on PC, it's totally different. It's still, I don't want to say the wild, wild west, but it's definitely different. So anyway, I know I'm just saying it's like, I prefer consoles. Okay? Maybe I'm just fucking, I'm not a boomer on that front. I've always preferred consoles.
I've also always preferred consoles just because I feel like PC gamers have too many hacks and cheaters on PC than they do consoles. I mean, it's possible to get it on consoles too, but it's not as bad as it is on PC.
Yeah. So, all right, let's get into the final topic of the night. 3 hours and 20 minutes into the conversation. But again, hey, look, no, here's the thing with that, Saki. We've maintained over 120 people for a while.
Oh, wow.
So,
I didn't know that.
I had upwards of 130, but only 43 likes. Come on, you guys.
Why
Come
did
on,
you
let's
guys
get to
do
let's get to
that?
50. Let's get to 50. Like the
50.
stream because RJ's gone.
Oh, that's so mean. We're so mean to RJ. We love
RJ. We just give him a hard time.
Yeah, we love RJ.
So, yeah, we got to tough him up a little bit. He's going to be a teacher. We got to tough him up. These kids are going to tear him apart alive. So Jonathan Majors had a bit of an interesting weekend. Yesterday, it came out that he had been arrested for alleged assault stemming from an incident in a cab in New York City with apparently his girlfriend. And he was very quick to come out and deny it, and very quick to have a lawyer come out and vehemently deny and make the claim that it was going to be very swiftly dropped. So this is what the article here says in Variety. Jonathan Majors' lawyer says evidence exists to prove he is completely innocent of alleged assault, saying the defense lawyer of Jonathan Majors says the actor is completely innocent and provably the victim after he was arrested on Saturday in Manhattan and charged with assault and harassment in what New York Police Department described as a domestic dispute. Jonathan Majors is completely innocent and is provably the victim of an altercation with a woman he knows, says criminal defense lawyer Priya Chowdhury. We are quickly gathering and presenting evidence to the district attorney with the expectation that all charges will be dropped imminently. Chowdhury goes on to say that there's video footage from the vehicle where the alleged incident took place, witness testimony from the driver and onlookers, and 2 written statements from the woman recanting her allegations. This is the big one right here. If there are 2 written statements from the woman in question recanting her allegations, that's pretty fucking wild, right? Like, that's going to really change things in regards to this story going forward, because obviously, like, Jonathan Majors at this point in time is at the literal height of his career. 2 movies opened within a month of each other, or like a week of each other, whatever, starring him very quickly. And both went to number 1. I mean, this guy is having his year, and then this situation happens. Now the attorney here, or the criminal defense lawyer, says, all the evidence proves that Mr. Majors is entirely innocent and did not assault her whatsoever. Unfortunately, this incident came about because this woman was having an emotional crisis for which she was taken to a hospital yesterday. The NYPD is required to make an arrest in these situations, and this is the only reason why Mr. Majors was arrested. We expect these charges to be dropped soon. Now, I mean, what do you think about that? Sagi, do you think that, because you saw like all the stuff come out, right? It made it seem like he had assaulted her, he had choked her out, he had attacked her, scratched her, all of this stuff. And it really seemed compelling because a lot of people, it blew up.
Mm-hmm.
So the thing I find to be the most fascinating thing about this, though, is like, as always in a situation like this, and again, this is something I understand firsthand. Whenever there's a person who fucking takes a hit, people come out of the goddamned woodworks to fucking pile on.
All the time.
Anyone you've ever pissed off will find a way to fucking frame you in an insanely negative light.
Especially when you're a celebrity, yeah.
Yeah, like when I had my downfall back in 2018, this guy I met when I was in my first semester of film school, who I thought we were friends. The last time I spoke to him, we were friendly. You know, like I thought everything was fine. Somehow he got involved and came out with this fucking interview just fucking tearing my ass to shreds. And I knew an interview was happening because I had caught wind of it. I just didn't know with who it was. I figured it could only be with like a handful of people. So I reached out to this guy specifically. And I was like, have you talked to anyone about me? And he never said yes or no, but he reframed the question real quick. And we talked for a while afterward. And then the next day I found out that he did it. And I'm like, I asked you directly and you didn't fucking tell me. Right? Like, fuck this guy. Then I found out that his wife had left him. And I was all like, good, because he treated her like shit. So you know what? Good for her. Yeah, fuck that guy. But yeah, people always come out, man. People always come out with that shit. And I've done it myself too. I ain't any better. I'm just saying, like, it's kind of what happens. Police statement listed strangulation, assault, and harassment as potential charges. And he was ultimately charged with 2 counts of assault in the 3rd degree, attempted assault in the 3rd degree, aggravated harassment in the 2nd degree, and harassment in the 2nd degree, each of which are misdemeanors or lesser charges. So none of this is felonious. So none of this would like have him see like real jail time. If this doesn't get dropped, these are all, you know, he might go to like county jail at most, but these aren't fucking like felonious charges. So a representative for Majors denied the allegation, says he had done nothing wrong. His publicist told Variety, we're looking forward to clearing his name and clearing this up. I mean, you know, there was one of the things I saw that was really interesting about this was, I guess like people in the New York City theater world have referred to Jonathan Majors as like cold and calculating, like very much a sociopath. Right. Right. And if they couch him as cold and calculating and that he's a sociopath, an emotional outburst like that seems rather out of the question, like, or rather out of character. And to some extent seems rather odd. Right. Now, the story in question is that he was in the cab with his girlfriend and she had seen that he had gotten a text or whatever from another woman. And then she confronted him and then the incident took place.
Seems to be the trend this week.
You know, what else happened with someone getting?
No, what happened earlier with me.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Right. Sorry. I had to I blanked on that for a second, but yes. Mm-hmm. So is it a full moon? Fuck.
Right. Like bitches be crazy.
Yeah. Everyone be crazy on a full moon. But I mean, I don't know if he's a good guy or a bad guy. I asked that question. Is he a good guy or is he a bad guy? And in many ways, that's up, you know, that's kind of up for the person who knows him, right? Everyone's going to have a different experience with somebody. A person who is cold and calculating that might be like a method actor is going to be a certain way. You know what I mean?
Right. So when you ask that question, it's like, number one, we're not in the room with these people. We don't know these people from a hole in the wall. We only know what the headlines say about all of these actors, all of them, right? We don't know. We just know what we've been seeing. People like to always twist and spin narratives. You just don't know because you always get the full story. Now, when you're saying like, oh, the conflict, like the conflict started because she saw a text message from some chick and she felt some type of way, and that's where they started fighting. Like, common sense leads me to believe, like, yeah, chicks be wild, man. And I said this on my stream earlier, like, women be putting their hands on men over the most like stupid things. So if it is true, say for argument's sake, it is true, right? They did get into a fight. I'm sitting here thinking like, okay, so what are the facts? Okay, the story is she saw on his phone he was talking to some other chick or whatever. She probably started attacking him. She probably threw hands. And then at some point when you get repeatedly hit by someone over and over, like you just snap, man. And at that point, I don't blame anybody. So like that's where I'm at with this whole situation. Like it's kind of like I don't know what happened. Do I think he's a bad person? I don't know. This is the first big controversy. It's not like as we're not talking about like Ezra Miller, who had like a lot of stuff where I can even understand why people have issues with Ezra, right? I can understand that. But this is the first incident. So it's just kind of crazy that everyone's just jumping on this so heavily, and it's like we don't know the facts really. We weren't there. We're only getting the police report is there, whatever, but like we don't know if what happened.
Well, there was also this article popping up in the direct here. It says Avengers 5 lead actor accused of vicious abuse behavior by directors following arrest. Okay, now here's the thing with this, right? I found this to be fascinating because I read this article yesterday. So it goes back to this right here. Back in February, filmmaker A.B. Allen tweeted about a beloved actor who is actually vicious, cruel, and abusive human being. Didn't say who it was. And then somebody had responded saying, now we know who it is. Ding, 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 ding. And he responded back with ding, ding, ding. All right. But the thing is, who A.B. Allen is, looks like A.B. Allen has removed that tweet.
Uh-oh.
Looks like A.B. Allen has removed that tweet. Let's maybe find out why.
Uh-oh.
Let's maybe find out why. Oh, tweets are protected. That's why.
Yo. Okay.
Okay, so this is A.B. Allen right here.
But it's also deleted, right?
It said, well, no, if the tweets are protected, I'm not able to see it.
Oh, okay.
But I was curious, who exactly is A.B. Allen? I always like to kind of figure this stuff out, because if it's a director, right? If it's a director that's attacking Jonathan Majors, then they would have probably worked with Jonathan Majors. Maybe.
You know what makes me like fucking crazy sometimes? Like if you're gonna come out and accuse somebody of something, or you're gonna make a statement that like that, you're gonna say, oh yeah, no, I know that this person's bad, blah blah. Why are you just gonna protect your tweets all of a sudden? Like you just decided to tweet that out for everybody to see, and then now all of a sudden you protect your tweets. Like why even make the tweet in the first place if you're gonna go in protect mode? Like that's so dumb.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I'm just looking through here. It's like this guy's done. He's done short films, right? Short film, TV miniseries, short. This is what he's directed. So when they say, by directors back over on this article here, it's like, does this guy even know him? Does he even know who Jonathan Majors is?
Well, maybe that's why he went protect mode. Ooh.
Right? I mean, I don't know. I'm just saying it's like coming out and saying this shit is one thing. And again, no fucking idea whether or not they know each other. I'm sure through the grapevine they've heard, because that's kind of how it generally tends to go, right? Well, through the grapevine, I heard this happen. Through the grapevine, I heard this from a friend who heard this from a friend who heard this from a friend. So you hear that quite a bit.
Heard
so it's
it
like
from a friend who
heard
it from a friend. Yeah, it's dumb.
So then you have a guy here, Society Theater co-founder and Broadway actor-director Tim Nicolai offered support on Twitter and posts that have since been made private, saying, it's strangely a relief to know other humans were out there who understand. Right? Now, it later said that, saying that many in the Yale and NYC communities, later to be described between 2012 and 2017 graduates of NYU and Juilliard, consider the actor a sociopath and abuser. Saying here, I'm just going to say this about Jonathan Majors and be done with it. Folks at Yale and the broader NYC community have known about him for years. He's a sociopath and an abuser, and that is how virtually everyone speaks about him. It's a shame it took this long for him to be reported. But it's like
they didn't report it, so it's like
that is the thing, and it's kind of like, literally, it's kind of like this, right? The actor goes on to say here, if casting directors like you, that's the currency, but nobody would call his exes, girlfriends at the time, directors, professors. They just don't do that. The actor went on to share, like, literally people Jonathan Majors did this to are texting me right now. It's not, I heard. Well, then, I mean, who are they? Like, that's, again, it's kind of like, this isn't one of those things where it's like believing the accuser, like, it's kind of weird. It's just, how do you get that info out there? If people don't share their stories and it just becomes as as Real Talks here says, kind of like a game of telephone. It's a question. You know what I mean? It's a real question about that kind of stuff, about where we find ourselves on these issues. And I don't quite know. I don't know. I mean, it's like,
well, that's
whatever.
the problem with people not speaking up all the time. Though you get these stories that come out, like if you know somebody's a piece of shit person, and like they're doing all this shit, why are you guys not like? Why are people not speaking up right away? Because that's what makes these stories hard. Because we are in a time now where cancel culture is real. People have been falsely accused of shit, and it's just like you need to have a paper trail, people. Like if somebody does something, especially legal, like to you or to somebody you've witnessed, like you need to report it. Whether that person gets in trouble or not doesn't matter, as long as there's a paper trail. Because when it blows up like this, you can go back and have that proof and be like, yeah, we've reported him multiple times and nothing got done. Now somebody else is getting hurt. When will it stop? Type of situation. But instead, now you have people saying, oh, well, we've known this person was beating up people and beating women and doing all this shit for X amount of years, and we just decided to do nothing. And they come out with this, and it makes it seem like, oh, they're supposed to be the good people, right? You guys sat there and watched somebody do this for X amount of years and said fucking nothing until somebody else got fucking hurt enough where it became and decided to speak on it. Now y'all want to come out the woodwork and start fucking telling your side of the story. Y'all should have done that the moment that shit happened, and it wouldn't have happened to somebody else. Y'all are part of the problem, not the solution, the problem. Speak out immediately when shit happens to you. Simple as that. Like, why are we still having this discussion in 2023?
Because social media is a certain way.
It's so fucking frustrating.
That's really what it boils down to, is that social media is, very much, it's a game of telephone. It's very much a game of, who's the fastest to respond, who's the fastest to get an article out, and then also who's the fastest to talk shit.
But it just blows my mind, because it's like if somebody, like, if I got into a fight, like if an actor like hit me, right, I'm going to the police. I don't give a fuck who that actor is. I don't care if it's fucking Johnny Depp. I don't give a fuck if it's who's the most fucking famous actor in Hollywood right now. I don't care. You're a person. You put your hands on me, I'm going to the fucking police. Especially if you're an actor, because you need that. You like what are they gonna do? Oh, I'm afraid they got money. They can put a hit on me. Okay, well, let them. Because, like, what are you going to do? And I hate people, too, who take hush money, right? Like, okay, so people made this argument, oh, well, Ezra paid off people, right? We're using Ezra Miller's example, right? Ezra Miller paid off people. So why are those people still looked at as good people? In my opinion, they're just as much a piece of shit either, too. Because, like, I'm sorry, if somebody's committing a crime to me and they're committing crimes to other people and you're taking money to silence you, did you really give a fuck about the crime in the first place? You'd rather take a couple $1,000s that's going to be spent in like fucking months? And then guess what? That money's gone and you ain't getting any money, right? So now what are you going to do? You chose to stay silent for hush money to let this person continue to victimize other people. You're just as guilty.
Yeah. I think there's a lot of stuff that just people, they just need to, our society is very much broken on this issue. I mean, look, I didn't want to jump on the Jonathan Majors things right away. I thought it was interesting. We'll have to wait and see what happens. That's why I asked, is he a good guy? Is he a bad guy? Because I really think it all depends on like who knows him, and like what are they going to say? Like, if Michael B. Jordan comes out, who just spent months and months and months working with him, on Creed, they're going to work together on more Amazon stuff, right? The Creed universe over there at Amazon. Like if he had trouble working with him, would he want to do that? Michael B. Jordan seems like a no shit kind of guy, right? What about, Marvel working with him on Loki and then working with him on Ant-Man and the Wasp, Quantumania. Never mind all the other movies they have planned with him. This is a guy like they didn't vet him. Marvel vets, let's be fair. Marvel vets. Like these studios, they generally want to make sure that these stars are not going to be super problematic. We're kind of beyond that age now. So I don't know. We'll have to wait and see how things go on this one. But you know, Buddy Love here says video footage will probably come out of the cab, and apparently there's a cab driver on Major's side. Sure, that's what I'm waiting to see when the cab footage drops. Yeah,
that's what I'm saying, man. I'm telling you, when I heard the story, right, and the first thing that it was like, oh, the girlfriend. It started because the girlfriend saw some text messages on the phone. I'm like, so my guess is she started whooping his ass. That's my guess. Is she started whooping his ass, and maybe he might have just, you know, defended himself. And if that comes out, I know what the argument's gonna be. Oh, well, man should have hit a woman. Blah 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 blah. I'm gonna be on everybody on that one because I hate that argument. Because again, nobody should be putting their hands on anybody. It doesn't matter if you're a male or female. You put your hands on somebody, you get what you get. Like if your first thing is I'm gonna be violent with somebody, well, guess what? Expect to get hit back. You don't hit somebody and not expect to get hit back. That's just dumb. And yeah, it's just crazy how people are just jumping on this. I'm like, why haven't we learned? Wait a few days. Wait for more development. Stop just jumping on it and going, yeah, he's a piece of shit. Yeah, look at what these people are like. No, dude. One thing I learned about covering stories like this is like we need to wait for more information, and if due process is needed. And I think I've said this. I don't know how you think about this, Matt. But I feel like when it comes to celebrities, if anyone comes out and accuses you of something, doesn't matter. Like, I think they should just file lawsuits, man. They should just start filing lawsuits. No, you said something about me that could ruin my career and my livelihood. No, we're taking this to court. Do the Johnny Depp route. Prove your innocence. Take it to court. Because that does two things. Number one, it clears your name. And number two, it sends a message to anyone looking for their 15 minutes of fame that there are consequences for lying about people. That just needs to be the thing now. That needs to be a new thing.
Well, I mean, like, I've had people make some pretty serious allegations against me.
And would you sue? Would you take them to court to clear your name if you had the money to do so? Like,
if I had if I had the money, it depends on how far it went, to be fair. Right. Like that's something we have to consider there as well, because, you know, as a lot of this stuff tends to kind of spread, it depends. Like, you know, I think if you're going to, like, let's say, accuse somebody of being like a P word, you better fucking have some goddamn evidence. If not, because that shit's life ruining.
Oh, sorry, I meant crime. Sorry, yeah. When I say that, I think you misunderstood. Like, if somebody's accusing you of a crime, yeah, 100%, they should go to court. That's what I meant.
Oh, I see what you mean.
Yeah, that was my fault.
I mean, because, like, you know, it's like, but the thing is, people out there, they just like to, you know, they just, again, I heard this, I think this. It's like, it's so difficult to prove defamation in many instances, simply because, you know, you have to prove intent. And so that's hard to do. That's just super hard to fucking do.
Well, if you accuse somebody of committing a crime, that's malicious intent, in my opinion. If you're gonna call somebody a P word, right? If you're gonna call somebody a sexual predator like that to me, and it's not true, by the way. If you're calling somebody a sexual predator and it's not true, that's malicious intent. You're trying to ruin somebody's reputation in life by labeling them something that's so disgusting and criminal, to ruin your life. That's malicious intent to me. Like, why else would you accuse somebody of being that if you're not trying to hurt them?
No, that's true. I mean, people out there, but I think to an extent, I think a lot of people tend to get away with it only because, you know, people are kind of like told to not sue. I think if you are an aggrieved party, that you're kind of told not to, you're instructed not to, because it's like, for one, you have to come up with the money for the lawsuit, because this is a civil case. It's not a legal case. So you have to come up with the money. In the case of defamation, you're looking at like a starting of like 15 grand to just get the ball rolling. And then you have to maintain that. You got to have your lawyer on retainer. They charge by the hour. Sometimes they charge several $100s an hour. If the person that you're suing has more money than you, there's a likelihood that they're going to be able to just kind of drag this thing out until you have nothing left. So it's kind of
do the Taylor Swift route, because the Taylor Swift did it right. Like, she sued somebody who said stuff about her or did something. I forgot what it was, but to prove that they were guilty. She took them to court, and I think like she was looking for like what, a couple bucks, not even like a bunch of money, but because the whole point was to take them to court to prove that they were guilty, not because of the money. There is some cases like that too, which I think that is fine. Like I thought that was great that she did it like that. She's like, I don't want your money. I have money. I'm fucking Taylor Swift. I just am taking you to court because like you need to fucking serve justice for what you did.
Yeah. Well, and again, it's also kind of like, if you're in that position where you can get that justice, but I think we need to really start to reevaluate the cost of the legal system. I know people like there's like the whole, frivolous stuff that happens all the time. We see this happening all the time, but I think it's like where you have legitimate grievances against somebody else. It maybe shouldn't cost that much, but
put it this way: if I had the money to do so, I would take a certain somebody. I would take certain somebody to court, pay for their legal fees just so they can prove their case. 100%.
Oh, I know who you're talking about. Yeah,
I would literally take him to court, pay for both parties, both sides of it, just to get out there, be like, hey, my whole intention with all this is to force you now to prove that what you're saying is true or not, right? Because that was the whole thing. If we're lying, I'll take you to court and I'll pay for your legal fees just to prove that you're a liar. Like I would do it if I had that money. Oof, I'd be taking everyone to court. Spherical Man's going to court. Matt's going to court. Ryan's going to court. Everybody's going to court. RJ's going to court. Ash is definitely going to court.
That takes just a lot of a lot of time. But on that note, guys, it's 1:00. I'm gonna wrap it up because I'm starting to feel my throat starting to hurt. Shut up. I didn't. Well, so I know Ryan had asked us to watch something, and Command Unit had asked us. I'm just gonna postpone those till tomorrow. I got those up right here for tomorrow. We'll just watch them because I can like rest my voice a little bit. And give you guys the attention. Anyway, I do appreciate. Yeah, thank you, Ryan. It's just like a 4-hour conversation. I'm like, I didn't realize we're gonna go this long.
That's because you had RJ on.
Yeah, it happens. It fucking happens. Anyway, thank you all so much. Sorry. Thank you all so much for the birthday wishes and all the support. I really appreciate it. Obviously, should be on again tomorrow night, provided my throat doesn't. If it gets worse, I may take it off just to kind of rest it. It kind of. What? It's. What are you talking? Like, what's so fucking funny? It's not like a dick sucking thing. Oh, my fucking throat hurts so goddamn much. I was just gobbling all that BBC all night long. All right. For one, it would be like full of pre-cum, so it would lubricate it. And two, like, just shut the fuck up. A lot of it's my sinuses dripping into my fucking. That sounds even worse.
Finish your sentence.
No. Fuck you.
If I did, that's why your throat hurt.
What? I get cancer from eating your box? Like, what's going on here?
Whoa.
What, we're gonna have the Michael Douglas situation?
Oh my god.
You guys heard it here. Saggy basically just admitted her vagina's cancerous.
That's true. It is. It's got teeth.
That's why it's a big old hole.
I hate you. Okay, good night, everybody. Thanks for having me.